All right, we are live. How's it going, everybody? This is a nice, chill Thursday afternoon, 3 o'clock in the east and noon in the west, and whatever time it is anywhere else. Just going to wait for people to roll on in before we get started. We're going to be watching Aliens. As far as I know, the director's cut or the anniversary editions, it's all good. The theatrical, I think, has a 20-minute difference, so I'm just going to do the director's one, which still should be pretty on point with everything else. I'm not sure by how much. And Mary's in the chat. Bam. What's up, Mary? Mary, if you want to join this stream too, you're welcome to. I was supposed to have a bigger panel, but so far only a couple of us have arrived. So if you want in, then come on in. But if your tooth's still aching from before, then I do not blame you.
Hail Mary.
Yep, Hail Mary. Bam. Aliens edition. I'm putting it in the chat so people that come on in can just kind of see what it is. Aliens director's cut.
And let it be known that while my icon does read Brian, it's actually me, Jeffrey Turner, aka Mega Jetty 1, and you can bet on that.
Yep, Mega Jetty 1, exactly. And we got Snowdub Entertainment as well. And how's it going, Ruth, in the chat? Star Wars for Life. Send in, I think those are aliens in the chat. Yep, little gray aliens. Yep. Nice. Didn't know they had those movies.
Green men.
Perfect. Well, the gray aliens are more accurate, I would say.
Yeah, but I just like that little line from the X-Files movie. So much for little green men.
Yep. All right. Yeah, so we're going to start in about 10 minutes as we let people roll on in so they can set up whatever they're watching so they can go along with us. It's available on Amazon for like $4 to rent, or you could purchase it there if you wanted, or if you have it on other means through DVD or through another streaming service, then that's a way to do it.
And
yeah,
welcome,
Mary's going to sit this
Mary.
one out. Yep,
that's
welcome,
all right. Star Wars for Life.
Yep. All right. She'll be listening and lurking. All right. That's just fine. That's just fine.
Okay. I'm paused on the 20th Century Fox logo.
Same here.
All right. Sweet.
Okay. Are
Sounds
we
good.
Countdown?
No, I said we're going to give them like 10 minutes so people that come in, so that people come in can set themselves up.
Okay. Well, when we do start, are we going to do a countdown before we hit the play button?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Of course.
That'll work.
Yeah.
Now, do we do it on 3 or do we do it 1, 2, 3 and then do it?
Well, you'll just see my timer start on my end, and that's when you press play. Also,
it was a Lethal Weapon reference.
Okay.
That was good. As long as we're within a few seconds of each other, I think we'll be fine.
Yep. Hello, Inty Bird in the chat. What is
Grew
up?
up on Lethal Weapon as a kid.
Yep, Lethal Weapon was awesome, that's for sure.
I don't remember if it was Lethal Weapon or Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but one of those two was the first R-rated movie I ever saw in my life, and I was 3 years old.
I'm so old.
Yeah, my mom didn't mind me watching R-rated stuff, even if there was female nudity. It was, if anything, it was meant to educate me in a way school wouldn't.
Well, I mean, it doesn't really educate; it just shows that they're there. But
yeah, but what I mean is, my mom always made me believe that as a kid, she made me believe that sex was just two people who in love hugging and kissing while naked and nothing more. Well, so lo and behold, I was surprised when I found out what it really was as an adult.
I bet. What a shock.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just hugging and kissing while naked seems natural.
All right. Anyway, so we're going to be watching Aliens, if anybody's unclear of that. While we're waiting to get started, we're going to start in, a little less than 10 minutes. Snowdub Entertainment. Do you want to say anything or shill anything? Talk about your channel, anything coming up, something excited about, movies you watched recently?
Let's see. Well, I got to watch Endgame. That was great. Gave it a pretty high score. Not a perfect score. There was a couple of things wrong with it, but I got a review up for that. And I have a review up for the very controversial last episode of Game of Thrones. I was definitely on the fence on that one. Some good, some bad. And we're just working on some more stuff. I actually got something really cool coming up involving Jeremy and the D-Day Cobra channel. So I can't say too much. It's a little bit top secret, but it's going to be fun and awesome. And I'm really looking forward to this one.
I totally understand that. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, Snowdub does some awesome music tracks and has a fun little puppet that he does some of his reviews with. Who's the girl that's in it with you?
It's Jolly the conservative puppet, and that's my sister Meg's.
Sister Meg's. Okay,
Yep.
perfect. Yep.
Shut up, Meg.
A nice duo, indeed. And
yeah, we compliment each other. She's used to my crazy puppet, my pay. Geez, I can't say the word analytics that I say with him because she's obviously grown up with me. And yeah, so
she seems like it's so normal. She seems like it's so normal to talk to the puppet. Oh right. Yeah, really? Okay. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, she even like whispers in his ear and stuff, and I have to like lean closer just to hear her, but stay out of camera. It's funny.
That's awesome.
Shut up, Meg.
Yep. And Megan Jetty, Megan Jetty, what about you?
Oh, what?
Anything? Anything? You want to shill or about your channel or something you've seen recently? Whatever.
I mean, I'm still trying to get my channel up because I had 3 days ago, I had 221 subs. Then overnight, I dropped to 217. I just don't get it. I mean, I want to get 1K so that way, I can make a living with this YouTube thing and entertain all of you. But it seems like YouTube is making it very, very difficult.
Well, yeah, that's what it does. I mean, it cleans subs all the time. Like mine go up. Mine have gone up and down. Like unless I put out a video that draws more people in, then my subs will stay around. Like right now, I'm at 708, and then they'll drop to 707 or between 709, 710, 707 again. It just goes back and forth all the time.
Yeah, and sadly, my gameplay videos that I've been posting, Shadow Warrior 2013. I mean, I got some viewers. It's just for some reason they didn't generate as much viewers as possible to get, and I guess that's one of the reasons why my subs started dropping.
Yeah, possibly. Sometimes you just got to hook them in with some type of topic and then start doing other stuff that you can introduce them to in a way. That's why I haven't done certain film topics I want to do because I want to wait till I have a bigger audience to drop them.
Yeah, I did the review of the Karate Kid trilogy, and I had planned to do a review for, the next Karate Kid and then the Karate Kid remake before I reviewed season 1 of Cobra Kai and then season 2. But I fell behind on it, so I figured I'm just gonna jump right to the both seasons in one Cobra Kai review after sometime soon.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I guess because the lack of content has kind of hindered my channel a little.
Yeah, probably. I just saw Karate Kid for the first time last week, so
like for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Which and this is the original.
Yeah, I saw the Jackie Chan one first a couple years ago.
Yeah. That's the same thing with me because growing up, I knew about the Karate Kid, but I never really watched it because I was a fan of Ninja Turtles. I was into ninjutsu, and in Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze, Mikey made that reference to the whole wax on, wax off. I just never truly got it. Then when I heard, Karate Kid was getting a remake with Jackie Chan, and I'm a fan of Jackie Chan, I was like, I remember hearing that title in a Turtles movie. I'll go see it. And so, yeah, I saw the Jackie Chan Karate Kid remake, and I liked it. And then I thought to myself, you know what? I should see the original to compare. And I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. How did I never see this? So yeah, and then I also knew growing up that my stepdad always liked Karate Kid 2 more because, going to Okinawa and that little drum toy.
You keep it for your correction. I know you wreck it. It's one of the lines from Karate Kid Part 2. The bad guy, she throws a tomato at him and it hits his shirt. He takes it off and he throws it back at her. He's all, "You keep it for your correction. I know you like it."
Oh, wow. I'm sorry. I couldn't make it out when you said that first time.
Sorry, it's one of my favorite quotes from that one. So
yeah. My stepdad and mine's favorite quote from that movie is, "Daniel-san, this no tournament is for real."
Yeah, that's a good one too.
That is very cryptic yet awesome at the same time.
Yep, I have yet to see that one yet.
Oh, I haven't.
We're spoiling it. Oops.
I only saw the first one. I'll be watching the rest of the trilogy at some point. I don't know when. I'm still still have a lot of other movies to crack out, and it's hard to set aside time to sit and watch something without having to do something else. Because there's, I like to have background or like when I'm doing something, but then when it's actually good, then that's way too distracting. It's like
surprisingly, my Alita video, my review of Alita is still my most viewed video on my entire channel. Over 200 and probably 90 views.
Yeah, well, you haven't made a good enough Brie Larson video apparently. Just do that, and you'll get over 1,000.
Well, I did make 3 of them. My first one was the most viewed of the 3. So that told me that because I was doing a Brie Larson video like everyone else, they probably just weren't that interested.
You got to make it sound interesting.
True.
You get the view if that's what you're looking for, but yeah.
Maybe I'll do another video regarding Alita, talking about how I'm getting into it or something.
I tell you, it's random. My Bruce Lee video, out of all the Jolly's rants I've done 13 Jolly's rants, and the Bruce Lee one has the most views out of all of them, over Brie Larson or anything. The Bruce Lee one's about just a quick talk about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in the trailer, and that one's over 300. So I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't know. My Alien Planet review, a documentary that nobody's watched, has almost 200 views on it, and that's the most I have on a review. And then my Deep in the Valley, the Chris Pratt one, before he was famous in that porn universe, or whatever, that is like almost 100. And I'm like, okay, so people are clicking on this. People want to say, what? Like, I don't know. And then I'll put something else out that people know, and they'll get way more, though. But who knows?
Yeah, maybe if I do another Alita video, maybe it'll generate some people.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Alita's kind of fading at the moment in popularity. Endgame stuff and Game of Thrones seem to be the real hot topic right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't watch Game of Thrones. My stepdad and I, we have Xfinity, so we had to lose some channels like HBO. And basically, we had it where when we lost the channel, what we had set to record, like an entire series, would still, be watchable, even if we couldn't watch the rest of the channel. But for some reason, when Game of Thrones came back this year, apparently Xfinity must have caught on because we couldn't watch it anymore.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
So we're going to be starting in 2 minutes. So anybody that's rolling on in, if you have the director's cut of Alien or whatever, Aliens, or whichever version of Aliens that you have, just put that on in, and we'll be starting very shortly, and you guys can watch along as we comment.
Yeah, I'm going to get set up here right now.
By the way, a little change of topic. Did you see Anna, that Star Wars girl's recent P.O. Box opening?
No.
Oh, I drew her a picture and I mailed it to her, and this past P.O. Box stream had her opening it. And so,
oh, cool.
Yeah, if you do by any chance find it, look it up. You might like what I drew for her.
Yeah, that's cool. Sounds
I didn't see it. I'll check it out.
Yeah, because I just thought to myself, a lot of people are sending her art, so you know what? Put my own artistic skills to good use and draw a picture for her.
Nice.
That's a damn good idea, actually. Wow. I can draw too. I mean, I should send her something.
Yeah. I mean, if there's something you love to do, don't hesitate to do it. Because yeah. Oh yeah, Thomas Gilkey, that's me. I'm Mega Jetty. Just even though my YouTube account is it's my stepdad's Google account. That's why it's his icon and not mine.
Yeah, makes sense. How's it going, Thomas? What's up, man? All right. Sec. All right, so we'll be starting very shortly, like let's say about 30 or so seconds.
I have the volume down on my TV, but if there's ever a moment where you might hear something, chances are you're hearing the movie on my end.
Okay.
Yeah, I got mine down too. I know this movie by heart. I'm pretty sure I've seen this movie almost, maybe Star Wars more, but this one's right up there with the most amount of times. I can honestly say I've seen this movie over 100 times.
You guys ever heard of Rambo Raft for Life?
Nope.
No.
Oh, he did a review of The Golden Child, another movie that I like. So he basically was sitting down and watching it, and the camera was like fixed on him. I could easily hear the whole movie, yet I don't know if he got striked or not. So I think it would. Do you think it would hurt if the movie was heard at all?
I don't know.
I don't think so. No. I'm pretty sure you have to actually like completely copy something in order for it to get a strike. So maybe if the camera's on the TV or something, possibly, but yeah. And I know even chunks of it, they can't get you. It has to be a long sequential.
Yeah, usually like 10 seconds or more.
Okay.
Yeah. So, all right, everybody. So countdown will begin now. 10.
And again, are we doing this
8,
on 3 or 1, 2, 3 and then do it?
You'll see. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom. And I'll have my stopwatch presented on here. It'll be like a minute or two behind, but that's all right. So everybody that comes on in can see around where we are.
All right, my 20th century is fading to black.
Actually, I can't present the thing because that's where I'm watching the screen. So I'll just give you updates as we go.
James Cameron film. That's where I'm at.
Hell yeah, indeed.
Okay, Sigourney Weaver, a true female lead.
Absolutely.
Starting in this film, though, I'd say in the last one she was just a character amongst the other characters. But yeah.
Oh, agreed. She didn't get her prowess till the end of that movie, where she actually had to fight for herself.
Yeah. I actually like this opening intro more than the original.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's cool for the graphics of the time.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. So if you guys didn't watch yesterday, I did not like Alien.
I understand, but see, like, here's the thing: that few minutes of nothingness showing the inside of the empty corridors, that was meant to build tension and set the vibe of the entire movie.
I mean, I get it, but like the whole first 30 minutes was, I felt like there was maybe 5 minutes of substance in that whole time, and the rest was just kind of lingering around. And like, were they going to show them go to the bathroom and wash their hands and put on their shoes? Like, I felt like it was just going way too development. Yeah, I know, I get what it's for, but as far as entertainment goes, I couldn't imagine being in the theater and being engaged. I'd be like, okay.
Yeah. By the way, the shuttlecraft we're seeing right here.
Yeah.
I actually have a mini toy version of that if you want to real quickly see it on the camera.
Oh, that's cool.
You can show us later, like after this, if you want.
Okay. But yeah, I have it. It's I didn't even know what it was for years. It looked like a Millennium Falcon wannabe. But then, yeah, when I saw the movie Alien and Aliens, I was like, oh my gosh, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, see, like right here, I feel like this is a better intro in a way because it kind of, like, it shows the emptiness of space and whatnot, shows the ship, shows inside the ship, it's cold, all the things. Seems like it's, been sitting there for a while.
Yeah.
Another ship pick it up, and then the movie kind of starts. And it's like, okay, I mean, it doesn't have to be quick, doesn't need to be fast, but I mean, it's getting it going, it's showing important stuff. With the other one, it just seemed to just show, here's them smoking here, here's them pushing that button there, here's them walking here. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you seeing this on my screen?
What was that?
Are you seeing this on my screen?
No, I gotta look at it just one sec. I'm playing it on my computer, so.
I actually have that. The whatchamacallit. No. Down to your down the big thing holding the xenomorph. That, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I actually have that. I got the Aliens Colonial Marines collector's edition, and that came with it.
Yeah, that's what I got it too. I actually got to meet Hicks, Vasquez, and Bishop.
Oh man, I am so jealous.
That's me right there.
I am jealous, man.
And Megs, of course. And then I got my Bishop signed.
Yeah.
And I got an Alien Queen.
Oh. I tell you this, when I got Aliens Colonial Marines, I got it because I was hoping to get the weapon, the phased plasma rifle, obvious Terminator reference. But sadly, it was probably, I believe it was just a DLC thing, and it just gave me the code to get it. And because I don't have my systems hooked up to the internet, I couldn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just thought I'd show you guys up pretty quick. Like I said, I'm a huge fan. Love this movie.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I'll tell you this, next Alien game they make, whether it's a sequel to Isolation or Colonial Marines or whatever, they got to get the phase plasma rifles in, and this time not make it a DLC nonsense.
I was at a horror convention when I met those guys, and I talked to Michael Bean about another movie, and he said he was all in for them to pick up an Aliens 3.1 or whatever after this one, and have them back, kind of restart the franchise or whatever. But
I will never accept. I will never accept Alien 3 because of the way they just poorly handled Hicks and Newt.
Well, they just found Ripley in the movie. If you're watching along, we just found Ripley in our ship.
Yeah. Just getting about to wake up in a minute.
Yeah. Now, I see the space station is above Earth, but I don't know if they ever said if Earth is still habitable or not in this.
I don't know if they mention it, but they do mention her daughter, so I'm guessing it was still habitable because I don't think she was living on the space station.
Yeah, because
they don't really say.
Yeah, because I mean, I know in later movies they acted like Earth was a desolate wasteland and no longer habitable, but I don't I really don't like that.
Well, no, I think because they said that they keep on expanding and terraforming other planets, so it seems like their home resources come from Earth.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Now there's that stupid cat. I'm so glad this cat only has this one scene.
Don't be so hard on Jonesy, all right?
Jonesy's cool, but
I like how she says, "Here, thank you, you idiot!" Like, oh, you little idiot, dumbass, jackass. Like to the cat until he talks to the cat and then pets it. Oh, you jackass.
But on the bright side, the cat did survive this whole ordeal.
Yeah, I towards the end of the first movie, I felt like she put a little too much concern in him. I mean, I understand it's her favorite pet and everything, but man, you're about to die. It's don't worry about the cat. Get out of there.
I would have made sure to get him.
Yeah, I get it. I don't know how I would react because when you're about to die from some crazy alien, I don't know if my pets would come into my mind.
I don't know. Well, in iRobot and this, they all save the cat. Hashtag save the cat.
Save the cat. Now, my kid would be a different story, but the pets, I don't know. I got Dobermans, so I'd probably stick the Dobermans on the alien to help me get out of there.
Yep.
I at least try to save the pet.
Have you guys ever seen Swiss Family Robinson?
Never heard of it.
There's a scene where they're on the island and this stupid kid keeps on trying to catch animals and he catches an elephant and the tiger's trying to ambush him and the elephant, and then his two German dogs or German shepherds come on in and they fight off the tiger. I just wonder if that kind of scenario would actually work. Like two dogs against the tiger.
We're at the part where she's convulsing.
Here's the sequence.
Yeah,
I remember when I first saw this, I actually thought she had one in her. I was freaking out. I was like, oh my God, they're going to kill her off right at the beginning.
Same here.
Yep, we're at the part where she...
I thought they were going to play... I thought they were going to pull a Friday the 13th Part 2 where the survivor of the first movie dies in the beginning.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Yep, we're at the part where she is dreaming about having a little alien poke out of her little belly.
Drunk 3PO wants a timestamp, Rookie.
I set him one. Yep.
Okay.
5 minutes in. We're more like, about almost 9 minutes in now. Yeah, he's driving home. He'll probably join us in a little bit.
Cool.
Yep. So, yeah, we're at almost the eight and a half minute mark, Drunk.
I tell you this, I know I've been talking a lot about my Blue Shogun story, still in the editing stages, but because there were some details missing. But I can tell you, the way this movie is edited, I plan on doing some fancy editing just like that with my story. Cool. Making it look like something is real, only to reveal, there's more to it than that.
Yep. And see, I like Aliens more than I like Alien because...
Same here, man. Same here.
Well, it's like a lot of people are like, oh, it's because the action and stuff, and that's not the reason why I like Aliens more. I feel like they do better character development. They, especially with her herself, like I love the paranoia aspect. Like, like okay, I'll say Jaws and Jaws 2 was something I watched recently, also for the first time, and not my favorites of movies, but I did like them, and I liked in the second one his paranoia that he has about there being a shark in the water. Like after experiencing the first one with the shark in waters where it shouldn't be, and then he finds one, and then like same here with her, she just survived a huge alien attack thing with and then they're just all passing it off and going, oh, what about the money of that spaceship, and she's like, oh, just living in fear with it, like she can't really shake it, and then she gets the opportunity to face it one more time, and it's like she's game.
And all the characters really have a nice turn in this, every one of them, especially the Marines, because they start out, just cocky as hell. And then after, which we'll find out here pretty quick, but after something happens, they all kind of change their attitude.
Oh, yeah, that'll become a little... I think the line from Incredible Hulk comes to mind. You're going to have a bunch of professional tough guys shitting their pants.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
Interesting thing.
There's his daughter, or there's her daughter.
Yeah, but the person in that photo is actually Sigourney Weaver's grandmother who passed away recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she passed away around the time of the filming of this, and that's what kind of helps sell the scene.
Oh yeah, well that makes a lot more sense. Why she gets pretty emotional here. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes the best acting involves a little real emotion.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Makes sense. Soy-based Jeremy was like, I thought Jaws came out in 2007. Yep. If only.
Maybe Shark 3D. Or 4D, I mean.
Yeah, Jaws is sold. It's before my time, so that's way back.
Yeah. I do like how in this scene, like, so she's woken up from, 57 years later, and first thing that they want to talk to her about is how much the spaceship that she blew up cost.
Oh, there's politics for you right there.
It's like 57 years later, that's on their mind. Who gives two shits about the rest of the crew? They kind of made it seem as if maybe she was crazy and that's why they're all dead or something else.
But when you also look at the Aliens versus Predator movies and video games, and then you recall that the company suspected about the alien to be preserved in the first movie, you then start to wonder how the hell did they ever learn about it? And I like how AVP kind of gives us that answer. You can hate the movie all you want, but AVP, it showed, Charles Wayland, Charles Bishop Wayland, I believe it is, of then Wayland Industries before Yutani was ever involved, meeting both aliens and predators.
That's true. Yeah, they kind of tied that together pretty good. I like that when they brought back Lance Henriksen's character too.
Oh yeah, that was
the
good.
Original Bishop. Yeah.
What I found funny was how often they're smoking when they're in a spaceship. It's like in a spaceship, air should be kind of precious, you would think.
It was the 70s. Everyone smoked.
No, I get the 70s, but just because it's the 70s doesn't mean it's smart to smoke on a spaceship where air is limited.
80s.
True.
was my point. Like, just because, like, if you're in the ocean and there's water, it doesn't mean that it makes sense to just jump in without a life jacket or something. Like,
well, let me ask you this:
when you're in the middle of the ocean.
Well, maybe cigarettes are safe in the future.
Guys, let me ask you this: if they were smoking in Star Wars, do you really think that Han Solo would not be smoking on the Falcon?
Yeah, those are death sticks, though. They even call them death sticks.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Soy-based Jeremy says E.T. is in Star Wars.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
Confirmed.
Yeah, in the Senate.
Yep. Oh, I love this. That's where she freaks out.
Yeah. That seems to be a recurring thing with Cameron flicks, how he handles female characters like Ellen Ripley and Sarah Connor.
Yes, very similar styles. A lot of pans to the face, showing emotion. You can definitely tell Cameron's style.
Well, and the government is always more concerned with money.
Yep.
In their investments. I was going to say, watching this after I saw Avatar first, and so then I watched this, and there's lots of stuff in Avatar that they kind of took from this. I felt.
Yeah. I hated Avatar.
I know that there's a new Terminator coming out this November, Terminator Dark Fate, and I know there was this recent article or photo about how there's going to be a prominent female cast in it. I don't think it's going to be bad because first off, that was only one photo, and the media blew it out of proportion, and we got nothing since then, which tells me that it might be Cameron's good writing on female characters is still, good in this movie.
I hope so. I don't know about you, Rookie, but Avatar was kind of a disappointment for me. I felt like it was Ferngully on steroids.
Well, yeah, I'll agree with that. I felt like it was a disappointment, but I mean, it did do some good technological advancements, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
At the time, after that came out, was when they really pushed 3D. And they're like, get 3D TVs, get 3D things. And then they completely stopped. It completely died out after a year.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's a good film to watch for the first time in theaters, but then beyond that, like, I can't ever see myself putting it on to watch on TV. It's like,
Inty Bird says the mech suits in Avatar are straight from this.
Yeah, that's what I got the vibe of too.
Oh yeah.
That's what I meant by it. Like, kind of mirrors it.
I really didn't mind Avatar, but I admit I have not gone out of my way to get the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
I haven't either.
I really did enjoy it.
Scene, I believe, or one of the major deleted scenes.
All right, so now we're at the point on Aliens where they go back to that alien planet where they found the facehuggers in the first one, and they've terraformed part of it anyway, and have built a little colony of 70 families, they said, like 60 families.
Yeah, 60, 70 families, and it's like I said, a terraforming to make the atmosphere breathable again, or breathable.
Yeah.
I kind of feel bad for, Amanda Ripley because with how she was well developed in the Alien Isolation video game, I kind of feel bad that she ended up growing old and dying without trying to fight back like her mom did, or even try to reunite with her mom.
Well, speaking of growing up, so what happens to Newt in the third one?
She's dead.
Did they say that, or is it just like, oh, maybe?
Yeah, no. In the beginning of the film, she's dead. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey, Drunk 3PO. Nice to converse with you.
What's up?
Yeah, she dies in the crash, in the initial crash, when they send the ship out because
along with Hicks. Yeah,
the ship freaks out, saying there's an alien on board, so it shuttles everybody out in an escape pod. The escape pod crashes on a prison planet, and everybody dies in it. Of course, Hicks and Newt. And
supposedly, Hicks, his pod got smashed and the glass butchered him.
Right.
He actually cuts open her chest in the beginning of the film.
Yeah, and
check and see if she's got an alien in her.
And
Newt she cuts open Newt's chest to see if she had an alien in her.
Yeah, but
later on, yep.
But I'm talking about when they died. Yeah, Newt drowned, and Hicks supposedly got his chest cut up. But Alien Colonial Marines does a little retconning of Alien 3 that I actually did like. It turns out it wasn't really Hicks in that pod. It was a guy who ended up getting knocked in the head and put in his place as he was being rescued.
Huh. Okay, but yeah, I mean, I thought if Newt survived, I thought that it would have been cool if they later on did like a, Newt's grown up, like, because thinking about that, she experienced all this stuff at a young age. And
then, that was the initial plan for Alien 3, believe it or not.
Oh man, Alien 3 was an abomination to aliens. They just killed off everybody, and that was the worst. I sadly I have the extended director's cut. Is the only version I have. Okay,
that's the one we're watching, I think, or the one.
So right now, I got Newt and her family are in the little car.
Yeah, I'm at that too.
We're approaching the ship right now. We're at about on my end. We're at the 1810 mark on my end.
And there is a reason why. By the way, and also there's in Alien Isolation, there's a reason why the company couldn't find the derelict until this movie, because another group found the derelict just after the Nostromo did, and they turned off the beacon that summoned the Nostromo and those salvagers there.
All right. Well, just in case people want to see that stuff later, I guess we probably shouldn't talk about other Alien movie spoilers.
That's video
game spoilers, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is one of the very crucial cutscenes, I think, that they put back in, because this really shows the dynamic of what Newt had to go through and probably what sculpted her character from the get-go. Without this, you don't really see what kind of, traumatization she had. In the cut version, the theatrical release, you just meet her already traumatized.
Yeah, I wish they didn't. I don't know why they cut this scene out. Like, this is very crucial. It showed families together. It kind of gave it a little more character of like who we're looking at here. It's pretty sad that they cut. I don't know why they cut. The other scene that they cut out that will be coming up on is the miniguns, the automatic minigun. I don't know why they cut that out. Yeah, that was an awesome scene.
Well, I actually mentioned that earlier, Drunk, that they actually had that scene in the original theatrical release, because I've seen it when I was a kid.
Really?
And for some reason they cut those miniguns out later for the DVD or the VHS release. I don't know why. Just that one scene.
Weird.
Yeah.
Interesting thing. The boy that's playing Newt's brother is actually
her actual brother. Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting facts.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
That's how much I like this movie, to the point where I wanted to learn that stuff.
Yeah, I love all the behind the scenes of this one too.
And I definitely like that shot right there of the landscape, the dark, the black, and the blues. That's
gorgeous.
Yeah, that reminded me of the future war landscape from the Terminator movies. I like how Cameron does that black and blue landscape shot.
And this is all pre-CGI. We always got to keep that in mind. So the effects are just amazing for its time.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, which I do give the Alien movies credit for that, especially Alien 1.
Oh, Daddy's down. And it begins. Yeah, I think Cameron cut this scene just for time. That was it. Just to make sure he got under a certain time for the theater.
Yeah.
This is back before they were putting 3-hour movies in the theaters.
He didn't do that for Titanic.
Look at that cigarette. How does it droop like that and not fall over?
You got to stay really still.
Really? Wow. Yes. That's how still she is, to the point where it doesn't break off even on its own.
Yeah, it's possible. I've been a smoker before I quit, but I used to smoke, and it's possible, but you have to stay really still for that ash not to fall off, and no wind.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you quit, because my mom and my Mima had to quit.
Oh, it's terrible.
Hold on a minute. I'm sorry about that.
All right, yep. Just go ahead and mute yourself. You got to take a phone call. You're good. Yeah, I do like this scene. How it's like they're like, okay, we totally screwed her over a little bit ago. Now, want to come to the planet with us? Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
And you see, I do like the sci-fi aspect, especially of Aliens, where they got to go back to the planet and they got to research it. They're trying to terraform it, and they screwed up and all that. Now they have a worse situation on their hands. It's that's more interesting to me than having one alien loose and they're going to pick them off one by one like a slasher movie. That's just not my style, I guess. The slashers.
Well, a plot hole here is, as soon as they found out that they lost communication, they should have immediately started looking at Ripley's story with a better eye. Like, okay, maybe she did on something here, because they still kind of treat her like she didn't know what she was talking about, and what if, and if they are there, then you should go. So they're still kind of showing some doubt when she's really sure about her story.
Well, yeah.
Okay, I'm next. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Because for all they know, it could be a planetary interference, like with the wind, or an electrical thing.
Well, Snowdub, I'll tell you this much: the reason why it was like that is because he had the company already in mind decided they wanted to bring an alien back. And if you remember, they were trying. The military doesn't know that. Only Burke here knows that.
Yeah.
And the hope was also to get Ripley cocooned, because
or at least somebody cocooned. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, after a while,
besides Ripley and Newt.
Right.
I thought that's what became his plan later, as the situation was escalating. Not a plan from the beginning.
No, I think the original plan for Burke, he lies to her here. About wiping them out. I think his original plan was to get an alien, and use it for
but I mean the method, like, of having cocooning her, I assume that was later that he decided that.
Yeah, probably when they figured out exactly what the face huggers do and all that good stuff. But maybe he might have, after her story, he might already known that that's what he was going to do, because she told him the story of what happened on an Alien.
Well, okay, so can somebody clarify in Alien, the mother ship or the mother intelligence or whatever, was that like a transmission coming from Earth, or is that just what the thing was programmed to do? Like, I didn't really get, like, was that the government saying, we want the alien, we already know about them? Like,
that's an interesting thing. There was a Predator video game that came out in the mid-2000s called Predator Concrete Jungle. Shares the name of a popular comic, but it's totally a different type of story. Basically, it went into the origin of Mother. Basically, there's this woman who was covered with predator blood, which extended age, and she was connected to, like, you know, like a computer system that was connected to the whole city known as Neonopolis.
Actually,
and then,
if you watch the movie Prometheus, it's the prequel to this whole thing.
Yeah, but it's not exactly. It's a controversial prequel.
Well, it's the same writer.
It's Ridley Scott, yeah.
No, the one that wrote the Predator video game was actually Grant Morrison.
No. I mean, from Alien.
Yeah, I know
Prometheus
that.
But... Rookie asked why the beacon was going off. Is that what you were asking, Rookie? Or did I misunderstand you? I'm sorry.
It was like why the beacon was going off on the planet, and who like told the robot on board to grab an alien. Like, who sent that?
Yeah, it was the government, because they wanted it all comes back down to money.
But what I meant was, like, because it seemed like they didn't understand that these things existed. So, like, when did they discover that the aliens were out there?
Well, that would be the alien versus Predator.
Well, no. So for continuity,
the company knew that they were out there.
The company. Yeah,
they always knew it was out there, but they kept it extremely quiet. So they kept trying to figure out how to bring one back to Earth. So even in Prometheus, when they found the ship, like the beacon and everything, it was all set. It was all planned to be found. So it all goes back to, like, the company. Even in the like, if you tie up all the stories from the books and everything like that, it was a company that was trying to get an alien because of money. And Burke's the only one. That wasn't the military. It was because if you notice throughout the whole film. And I'm sorry if I cut Brian. I'm sorry if I cut you off, buddy. I didn't mean to. No. It's Jeff. It's Jeff. Brian, it goes back to money. They're like, this was a big ship that blew up. It cost this amount of money, this thing. So now we need some financial gain and stuff like that. So that was the whole lazy writing of it all.
Well, it makes sense. It's always lazy writing. It's always back to money.
So the giant that was in the first one, that skeleton, was engineer or something. Is that what that's supposed to be?
No, the first one was one of the engineers, right? Yeah,
someone thought it was a predator.
No, because there's a giant skeleton with the.
I know.
Thing
yeah, but someone in the comments yesterday said they thought it was a predator.
Oh, okay. Right.
But yeah, so, and by the way, Drunk, my name's not Brian. That's just my stepdad. Apparently,
it's Mega Jetty.
Yeah.
Mega Jetty, yeah. Mega Jetty on a different profile.
There you go.
Yeah, my stepdad's Google profile, unfortunately.
There we go. I didn't recognize. I only have, like, my cheap headphones in, so
I can turn my camera on now to make it easier.
No, I'm not watching.
Are you in your bathroom?
I'm watching the movie.
No.
I see you, buddy. All right.
Yeah.
There he is.
And I shaved today.
Yeah. So
in comes one of the greatest women characters ever, Vasquez. Who has one of the greatest lines? One of the greatest lines in movie history is coming up. Anybody ever stake you for a man? No.
Have you?
Have you? Yeah.
Have you?
And the SJWs would freak out on a line like that in a movie.
Screw the SJWs.
They would freak out. How dare you talk to her like that? She's a strong female. And she proves that she's a strong female by her character development through the movie.
Yeah,
but unfortunately, the SJWs, they always like to twist the narrative.
Well,
they can take their narrative and shove it.
I like how these characters are actually memorable as to where the ones in the first one, nope. Guy with Hawaiian shirt, Dallas, because I said his name like 50 times, and the black guy, and the other chick. Yeah. I like Bill Paxton in this.
Oh yeah, Bill Paxton's the man.
He's awesome.
It was tragedy how we lost him.
I didn't know that this was the movie where he's like, "Game over, man. It's over."
Oh yeah,
I've heard that like that audio clip and so many other things all the time. I did not know that he's the one that says it.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. So okay, just
diversity in this part. How come no one complained? You know, why are we complaining now?
Well, because Black Panther is the first black movie ever now.
Yeah, bullshit.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, this gave me like a huge. Okay, so when I was watching this, like up to this point, it gave me the movie so far gave me Avatar vibes, Halo vibes, Starship Trooper vibes, like lots of things. But I know that this came before any of those.
Should have given you Terminator vibes too. It's very echoey to Terminator. Like
because I mean, like I was saying, the snow dub before. They actually reference phased plasma rifles in this movie, and Aliens Colonial Marines did have the phased plasma rifle as a usable weapon. Problem is, it's DLC, and I hate that.
Well, it's been like over 10 years.
So much toxic masculinity right now.
It's been like 10 years since I've seen Terminator, so I didn't really get that right away.
I will. How about this? We host a Terminator watch stream next week.
I can't guarantee any watch streams. I have to try to watch other movies that I haven't seen yet first.
Understandable.
Like yeah. So tomorrow's gonna be Karate Kid watch party, which I watched that last week. And I gotta finish Pulp Fiction. I started that, didn't finish it.
Oh, if you said a Pulp Fiction watch stream, I'm on board.
Hey,
we'll
Drum,
see,
can you see my screen?
Yeah, I see it.
There's me.
Oh,
Here's
here's
Michael
a cool
Biehn.
scene with Bishop and
Jeanette Goldstein, Megan,
with
Lance
the knife.
Henderson.
That's fantastic.
We're
There's
in the
my
cool scene with the
side
knife.
Lance Henderson figure there.
That's awesome.
Of course,
The
my
knife scene.
move over here a little bit. Let's see. Alien Queen. A little dusty. I need a dust up there. It's been a minute. Michael
Every
Biehn.
man after watching this movie that was an idiot tried this like multiple times, including myself.
Yep. Anybody watching in the chat? Anybody watching in the chat? We're just over 31 minutes into the film. At the part where the what do they call him? A synthezoid is doing that knife thing with.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
And this is a real scene. This is actually him doing it. Lance Henderson.
Yeah, they sped it up a little bit, but they did it.
But that's actually him doing it. Yep.
That was cool. Yeah, and he really was shocked by them putting his hand involved. He didn't know that.
Well, when I met him, I guess there's fans that have come up to him and asked him to do it, and most times he turned them down. But I guess he's done it a couple times.
He has done. Yeah, I remember him in an interview talking about that.
Yeah, as Inti Bird said, Vasquez is actually John Connor's stepmother or foster mother in T2.
Right.
Yeah, she
actually makes
and she was also the mother of some of the children in Titanic.
That's right. Yeah. Well, she's in a lot of Cameron films. I don't think she's acting anymore now. She actually makes lingerie now, I believe.
Who's this?
Yeah, like
I'll say this though.
Stuff, yeah.
Well, I'm pretty sure the foster mom was memorable. I'm pretty sure that while the foster mom was memorable, Vasquez was more memorable.
Yep, I do like this scene here. How she freaks out that he's a synthezoid or whatever, and it's like,
can you blame her after what happened in the first movie?
That's why I just said I like that she's freaked out by that a little. She's like, I don't really trust this guy.
It's funny though how they called Ash Hyperdyne model.
Oh, I love that part.
Yeah,
knocks it straight.
You really get some of the Terminator vibes in this movie.
Yeah, it's very heavy.
That's your first sign that Ripley is not going to take anybody's shit in this movie.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like the design of the USS Sulaco over the Nostromo.
Giant matte paintings here.
Is this an added scene? I'm not sure. I think this is an extra scene. I don't remember this.
No. This rallying scene was actually in the regular cut as well.
Well, this part is here. I know that, but I was wondering if that little snippet right before that was.
I'm not sure.
Scene? Oh.
Yeah, just that pan scene of the jet. I don't remember that being in the original. Maybe I'm wrong.
I snuck in and saw this movie as a kid, and it gave me legit nightmares. I don't know why. It wasn't your normal slasher film. But
yeah, I've had a couple dreams from this movie, for sure.
Alien Isolation gave me nightmares.
Yeah, I've had dreams where I've actually been like one of the Marines or somebody like that, running from them, and you know, especially the part where they go in the vents. I've had an actual nightmare of running through those vents. You know, like where Vasquez dies.
Well, hold on. Okay, so I've had, so this goes with it. So the smoking thing was a nitpick for me, like just a nitpick, not an issue really. It's like, okay, for visuals it's good, but then so they have their guns all the time with them in space, but it's like with most space stations and installations that they go to, would these types of weapons really be practical to use, or would they not have more close range type of weapons? Or
they probably have highly durable metal walls for the hull. And that's why
highly durable. I don't know.
You know,
what the weapons were they're like mini explosive tips.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I don't think they knew what they were going into, because at this point you understand that nobody believes in aliens. They're just kind of making a joke, and Ripley kind of gets a little like right now she gets in the face of Vasquez. And
I was forgive me. I was under the impression the Colonial Marines dealt with aliens, because that's why they said the whole bug hunt thing. Like they just never dealt with xenomorph aliens.
Well, no one's seen this type of alien yet, except those that were on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So they have no idea what they're dealing with. Like it had they haven't brought one back anywhere, and they only stayed in this planet because at the end they nuked the planet to try to erase all, you know, everything else, unless certain things floated out there that I'm unaware of. But
yeah, I was under the impression there were other types of aliens other than the xenomorphs in the alien universe.
It might have been, but they've never dealt with anything like this because they had no information. Acid for blood. They had nothing. They had nothing that they had what to deal with.
Well, regardless, I mean, like it seems like their weapons wouldn't be practical even if it was just a human versus human situation, you know? Like for in space, like you think there'd be something that could take out a flesh and blood creature but not damage a spaceship, because if you fired one of those types of weapons that they have like in a spaceship or something, I think that would do some damage to the hull, you'd think, or something, you know, cause a fire.
I think the weapons would have been more advanced. I agree, because near the end they pull out like traditional old 12-gauge shotguns and flamethrowers. You're right. I kind of agree with you on that, but I guess it was just a sign of the time of the movies.
Like, right, it's right after the Vietnam era, and a lot of emphasis of this movie is from the Vietnam War.
But so, it's also
even Clone Wars, even Star Wars: The Clone Wars had emphasis on Vietnam.
Yeah,
but I'm saying this is also after Star Wars, where I think like those types of weapons made more sense for. I mean, because they kind of burn, but they don't like puncture the hull. They don't explode on impact.
This is Avatar 101 right here.
Yeah, this felt exactly like it. I'm like, this could be the same movie.
Funny thing, the actor who plays Apone, I believe he actually is a military man. He was also in 007 Tomorrow Never Dies.
And he just recently passed away, too, unfortunately.
Oh, yeah. That's sad.
Bruce Lombardo joined us in the chat. What's up, man? Says the Sulaco has a badass railgun on the dorsal hardpoint. I have no idea what that sentence means.
I think he's talking about
the Sulaco is the name of the ship that they're on.
Yeah. Okay, that's cool. I had no idea. There is pointy things hanging off that ship everywhere, so I would think one of them is a gun.
So you guys realize after this movie, they came out with the Aliens toy for children, and they actually have a commercial with little children like kind of freaking out in the hallway of an Aliens toy.
I had the toys, drunk. I had the toys.
Now you think back and look at it and go, maybe that wasn't the greatest of ideas, but that's pretty funny. They would never do that today. They would never say, "Hey, buy a Jason Voorhees slasher edition," for your 6-year-old.
Kids in the commercial get a face hugger on their face. The only way to get it off,
So awesome.
I got an idea for a gift for Mary.
Yeah, plushy face hugger.
No, get a life-size face hugger. Put it in a box with a spring. Then when she opens it, spring.
Or she opens it upside down.
Oh, that would be a problem. That'll ruin it.
Yeah, I had the toys, drunk. One of them, you could fill his head with water and squirt water. Another one exploded, I remembered. One had wings that flew, kind of, where you pressed a button and his wings flapped. The toys were fun, and They came out when I was about 10, I think. So, because the movie came out when I was about 7 or 8. And
Yeah, what year is
back
this
when
movie,
R-rated
David?
movies can be marketed to children.
This is 1986. This came out.
Yeah, because I know that I remember back when Terminator 2 came out. Terminator
Gosh,
2
like
was
years
R-rated,
old.
but it was toned down enough to be marketable for children because I remember I had the action figures and the bike and all that.
Yeah, I was born in 78, and I actually remember my neighbor had what they called a cheat box where he could get the pay-per-view for free. And they had Aliens playing like 24/7. I remember I went over to his house and watched it like 3 or 4 times in a row.
I was born in 88.
It's funny how much people have seen this and talked about this because I just saw this for the first time last week.
And
Yeah, I'm not lying, Rookie, when I say I've seen this movie probably over 100 times. That's not a lie.
I can almost attest that I think I've seen this 100 times. I think I know every line. I could, if I was a jerk, I could just tell you every line before it happens.
Yeah, me too. That's why I got the volume down, or else I might start quoting.
Yeah, it's just.
Yeah, I actually I have a habit of seeing the second installment to a franchise before I see the first, because like I said, I saw Terminator 2 before I saw Terminator 1. So when I saw Aliens before I saw Alien, and even if I were to, ignore that trend that I happen to have, I like this one more.
What's interesting is
outstanding.
Because every time I have a chance to watch, one of the Alien movies, my first pick is going to be this one over the first.
That was miniatures right there.
I've seen this one more times.
These are miniatures.
What's miniatures?
That little car going into the that thing, whatever that is.
Okay.
Those are all miniatures. In the making of this, they talked about this. For those in the chat, the Marines are just about to get dropped off on the planet. Yeah, that's a tiny
express elevator straight to hell, and that's
a tiny scale model right there.
Down.
So,
and I believe I butchered that line. I believe this movie was nominated for a few Academy Awards, including Best Actress and maybe Best Picture, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to look it up, but I know they didn't win. But I know they were up for quite a few awards.
Elevator to hell, going down.
You see, so at this point, I was much more invested in this than I was in the first Alien, or at this point was where something finally happened.
Yeah.
And as for this one, we've already gotten to know the characters well enough, pretty good, and getting the setting, the tone. I'd say, in a way, it's kind of better because it's just they're all anticipating to go there. She's ready to face them again.
The alien planet looks a little different in this movie compared to the original, because it looked like in the original it was a yellow planet with rings, but in this it's more of a blue planet with no rings.
And this was back in a time when a sequel was a death sentence for the box office.
Yeah.
Well, was this also when Empire came out?
Sequels did not do well.
Was this after Empire came out or before?
It is after, but Star Wars was a whole other entity by itself. But
what about Jaws 2 and that stuff? Wasn't there quite a few?
They didn't make as much as the first one.
Yeah, Jaws 2 fizzed. That thing fizzed. And Superman 2 actually did okay, but it still didn't do as well as the first one.
Nope. It was almost
Superman 2, the Richard Donner cut is better in my opinion. And I haven't even
kind of set the bar for sequels, I think, back then.
One thing about the one thing that I'll give the first one that when I watched it the first time, I didn't know that Sigourney Weaver was going to be the star. Yeah, I thought the captain was going to be the star. But when he died off like halfway through the film, you're kind of like, okay, who's going to step up? So seeing like Sigourney Weaver step up, probably not till the last 15 minutes of the film, that to me was a good shock value. The other thing is too is that he did, in directing this film, he didn't know what computers were going to look like in the future. So, he did his best. Who knew that Apple was going to come along and make everything touchscreen, and have HD 4K cameras on stuff. So none of that stuff was in play.
Was there CGI in this one or no?
I don't think so. I think it's all practical effects and people in the aliens were people in costumes.
Right. Yeah, it's all practical. A few green screen type things, but yeah, all practical.
It's like anything slow motion was like, what do you call that? Stop motion? I say clay motion, but yeah.
Stop motion. And then you touched on it earlier, Drunk, a lot of miniature stuff.
What was that, Snow?
I said Drunk touched on it earlier, but there's a lot of miniatures in this movie, like they did for the Star Wars, the original Star Wars. A lot of tiny stuff that they try to make look big.
Right.
Like you see the car driving on the planet and stuff.
I did notice that, and I did appreciate that because they did the same thing, but without making it in space, they still made it look like a good effect for the models.
Yeah. Ball breakers.
Phase plasma pulse rifles.
Okay, see, and right here, this is where
Kids.
this is definitely where I got the Halo vibe right here. Like on the Flood Planet.
Never played Halo.
Never played Halo.
No, never played any Halo.
I think Halo is a lot like Aliens as far as
I
the first
agree.
one goes.
Did you guys play the original one and go to the Flood level? You guys remember that?
Ooh, it's been a while.
Hey, I'll still be here. I'm just gonna be getting up so that I can make myself lunch.
All right, that's fine.
What time is it over there where you are, Mega Jetty?
4:04 right p.m. right now.
You're East
Yeah,
Coast?
I'm East Coast, Scranton, PA.
Gotcha.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I'll still be able to hear and interact with you. I'll just be off camera for a little bit.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah, I got the Halo vibe because in Halo, like he comes to the planet, there's already been a huge fight, dead bodies everywhere, and just like figuring out what happened, and then sees all the replay through camera feed of a Marine, and then sees the Flood take over their bodies and stuff. So
Right.
similar vibe.
I mean, this looks like the same set as Terminator.
Oh yeah,
Like
this
the
does
first
look pretty
one,
familiar.
like
This
when
does
they were
look
in the
familiar.
when they're in the future and everyone's dead.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You
I
definitely
like
Phil
that.
Cameron style.
Yeah, the Terminator 3 and all that, they just couldn't capture the future war like Cameron did.
Well, that's why Cameron makes all the money. Everything he puts out is blockbuster gold usually.
Yeah, I
Well,
mean, and don't forget, Avatar was basically the same story as Dances with Wolves, I believe it is. Yet it's still made
Ferngully on
tons of money.
steroids.
All miniatures right there, rookie.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That's cool effects. I love that.
And this is a tension builder.
When I say
here.
miniature, they're probably like 4 feet big, but I mean,
I know what you mean. They're not life size. They're they scale it.
they're also not micro.
Well, it's like in Godzilla and Power Rangers and shit. Like half the time, it's a dude in a suit on a model city. Like,
There's the bar.
There you go.
There's the bar, drunk.
Mm.
Yeah,
I do like the amount of
tension right
rain.
here is a great
Time to
build-up. I love this.
Yeah, see, I do like this tension. I like the amount of rain that they have there. They send the chick in first. Gosh,
It's Vasquez.
yeah.
Well, they send her in because she has the bigger gun.
Her and
Well, I
Drake.
know, but I'm saying like nobody blinks an eye when they do it. That's where now they make it like a focal point that they sent a woman to go when the guys didn't. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, of
They
course.
go, the guy go, I don't want to go in there. Move aside.
Gosh, really, things have changed because this is the ultimate woman badass film, and I'm like, what? Why couldn't they just make more films like this if they were so upset about women not having a role? I mean, this is like
Yeah, like look at the character development here. And then think of Captain Marvel.
everything is just so awesome. Like, yeah.
We've really gone down. If you look at Captain Marvel, I know most of us have seen that movie now, but I mean, she starts out bad right from the get-go and snarky and awesome, and there's just no development. And then in this movie, you get to see these women go through hell and really define their character and show what they're thinking and how they're feeling. And
My female characters in my story have better character development than Captain Marvel.
Yeah, no. I think my kid can pretend to make a better story and his toys.
I didn't catch that. What?
My son could probably make a better story with his toys than Captain Marvel.
Damn, I'll support that.
Yeah. He's got a good imagination. He could do it.
A lot of people seem to be in favor of my Rotten Tomatoes videos better than Captain Marvel.
Here.
Yeah,
this heavily fortified like station is just crushed and blown up everywhere, holes everywhere.
Yeah, so this part here, when I first saw it,
bodies.
I was scared to death.
Well, and there's not even any bodies.
I know, I was just scared because like the way I'm sorry, like dark metal hallways with leaky stuff is scary. It just
That is scary.
Oh yeah, it looks like if you fall down, you're gonna need a tetanus shot.
Right. It's just creepy. And I live next to, I live near Universal Studios Orlando, and so the past 2 years they did an alien haunted house like this. Oh my gosh, it was
Awesome.
basically you walk through this whole set. It is amazing. It freaks you out.
Jealous. So
It
jealous.
is amazing.
Hey, Drunk 3PO, you live near Universal. Did you ever go to Terminator 2 3D?
Yeah, I must have done that a million times.
Oh man, I only did that once, and that was back when it was like brand new, and I love.
I never got to see that.
Yeah, I have season passes, so we go whenever we want.
It sucks that they shut that down.
Well, it was outdated. They had Shaq in there, and they had. I mean, I get it, but
a soccer player.
they had Shaq in the Orlando Magic uniform in that, so I'm like, yeah, it's really old.
Wow, that's ancient times, man.
Yeah, it's pretty old. It was cool though. Don't get me wrong. It's pretty awesome.
Rumor for the new Terminator movie coming out this November is that Cameron is considering that theatrical thing, Terminator 2 3D canon, which would explain why there would be more emphasis on Sarah, because there's hardly anything mentioned about John in the wiki page. My theory is that when John went to the future during the events of that theatrical thing, he probably returns, but he doesn't return to the exact point that he left.
Now, this is what scared the hell out of me, was these trackers.
Yeah, that was that. It was so perfect, like that. Oh,
also a Halo vibe, by the way.
Yeah, it is straight up Halo.
It also reminds me of kind of like The Thing, which is another great paranoia movie where they used a kind of a heartbeat soundtrack.
Yeah.
I've yet to see that as well. It's on the list.
That's top of my list for you, Rookie. If you haven't seen John Carpenter's The Thing,
that is on the list. It's on the list, definitely.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie of all time.
Is it really?
It is, yes. I feel they really just. I can't think of a movie that hits me harder than that one.
I swear they filmed that in a snowstorm and a garage.
Right?
But I don't mean that in a negative way. I'm just saying, like, it just felt like it was snowstorm.
And that's how realistic it feels.
Yeah, it was filmed in Canada, and then
I want a donut.
Stuff was in California and the studio. Yeah. So then you get
Alien Isolation.
I actually have the same headset she has right there on my head. It's the one ear. There's the acid for blood.
I like their
bad guys.
I like that they keep the continuity of the acid, and they really play that into this movie quite a bit with the acid blood being an issue.
And it's a perfect defense for the aliens, because even if you kill them, you can still get killed just killing them.
Yeah, there's a slight inconsistency about how powerful the acid is. Because in the first movie, we saw the acid was strong enough to burn through 2-3 floors. But in this...
Quit screwing around.
In this movie, when we see it splash onto someone, it doesn't, like, burn their entire limb or head off.
Well, in the original movie, the acid blood was from the face hugger, so maybe their acid blood is more concentrated. That's the only thing.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Well, and in this, they just, they slowly burn through, but they still burn through. Like her legs gets, burnt off, and the other guy had, armor stuff on his chest, which took, a couple seconds for it to burn through, and he takes it off before it kills him. But I don't know. That
was my first Spanish word that I ever learned, and I didn't know it was like a bad word, but Vasco has taught me Spanish.
Want to say it for the audience?
Pendejo. I don't want to get you a strike.
I actually first learned that one at in Boston Legal. There was this female assistant district attorney who wanted to apply at Crane, Pool and Schmidt. The guy who was interviewing her, he was like he was busy looking on his computer for ski resorts because he plans to go skiing, and he asked her if she skis.
This is a new. This is an add-on right here.
No, wasn't in the theaters.
Not with Burke and them walking in. That was a little extra scene where she's a little freaked out to go in.
I do really appreciate her character development, and from being just a normal truck driver kind of thing, the space truck driver, and then aliens on board, and she freaked out about it, and she didn't want to even come back here, but that's all she can think about is the aliens. And okay, a chance to wipe them out. She goes. She's still kind of freaked out, but is more aggressive to snub these things out and save people after hundreds of families have been killed, or a bunch of people. I like it.
How do we say this name? Is this Inti Bird? Is that how you say that?
Inti Bird, I call him.
Inti Bird. Okay. Yes. I don't want to get off the film, but yeah, the next Terminator movie is coming out, and they basically said that any Terminator movie after Terminator 2 is not my Terminator canon. They don't matter.
And Terminator 2 3D.
So he's like, they don't matter. So all the other films he's like, they don't matter. So I was like, okay.
It's kind of like Jurassic Park, I guess. So they're like, anything after 1 is nothing.
Yeah.
So Jurassic World. Nah.
I'm cool with it, and I still think they should do the same thing with these movies. And
oh man, Alien 1 and 2 the other aliens, they just couldn't get it.
No,
I didn't even Prometheus was okay, but the Alien
way out there.
The
Rumor
second
is
one
that
after
the
Prometheus,
Terminator Dark Fate is based on a T2 Infiltrator novel.
My first experience with Alien was Alien versus Predator.
That's sad.
And then the sequel.
Because I just took two franchises and turned them into turds. It was so sad.
They were turds, but they were fun turds as growing up, having not seen these.
I got you. I could have directed that film so much better.
Oh, and there's aspects in it that I liked, but yeah,
Hollywood went through this weird phase where they were like, we need to dumb everything down and make it PG so more people will watch it and make more money.
Yeah.
And they kept it that way till I remember reading an article with The Passion of the Christ came out of all movies, and that was a hard R, and they were like, oh my God, R-rated movies can make a lot of money. So then they started to push it a little bit. That's why Deadpool broke the mold for a lot of Marvel movies that we might see in the future, because they're like, an R-rated Marvel movie, no one will go see it. So now then they made Logan, and then they made Deadpool 2, and now they're just like, okay, never mind, we're dumb. And I'm
That's a nice collection, Snowdub.
Yeah, look at the Thing. That's sweet.
Nice.
When are you gonna start giving those away?
I actually got into Aliens via AVP as well, because I was a Predator fan. I didn't know anything about the damn xenomorphs. And so when I saw that the Predators were being killed off easily like a bunch of sissies, I was hating that.
They're all bunched together here. Okay, we got it. You got the gun, right? Okay. Let's get ready.
Well, you got movement on that thumper. Oh my gosh. After this, you got to play Alien Resurrection video game, Rookie, and really have a heart attack.
Yeah, I never played the Alien video games.
I have Alien Isolation.
Or Insurrection. Isolation, that's what I meant. Alien Isolation.
And Alien Colonial Marines.
Sorry.
Sounds like a title.
I will say this, having played Alien Isolation and Aliens Colonial Marines, Alien Isolation is it's good for wanting to feel afraid, and despite the story and gameplay issues Colonial Marines has, it feels like a relief when you play that right after Isolation, because you feel like Ripley in these movies. You spend the first installment being afraid, then you go right to blasting them to bits.
Oh,
you almost killed the kid.
Yeah, I'm lucky to cheer there.
You guys are
also. I kind of like the Aliens motion tracker over the Alien Isolation one.
Yeah. Was that drunk?
I think you guys are ahead of me by 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Yeah, we're at the part where they're just seeing Newt.
Yeah. All right. I guess Ripley just kneeled down and they're looking through the little.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we're around the same time. But see, what they did was when Newt ran and they shot the gun, they added the alien scream.
They did.
Yeah. And that was freaky.
Yeah.
It's kind of in the soundtrack.
Okay, here comes a recurring trope for Michael Biehn. He always has his hand bit in James Cameron films.
Was that girl Newt? Was she in any other movies?
No,
I think
she went on to be a teacher. She comes back.
How cool is that?
She'll come back for a Comic-Con once in a while. But yeah, she's just a teacher now. She does like, fourth grade teaching or something like that. So.
Oh my gosh, I
she'll
gotta
be
look her up. That's my hero.
She'll be
There you go.
like
There you
the kid
go.
in Iron Man 3. You just see them in one thing, and then you never see them again. And you're like, who are they? Like that kid in Iron Man 3 was in Endgame at the end. It's like, who the hell is that kid standing there?
The other thing I love about this is the realism. You could see like barf or something going down the wall or whatever that is, sludge or something. And, you can see all the cans laying around, empty boxes. You could tell that she's been there a while,
Yeah.
That fan is a little scary because, I mean, if you stand up too high, you're risking your head cut off.
Well, yeah, but it's a good noise factor. So if she makes too much noise, she can, the fan will drown it out a little.
Right. And the aliens probably couldn't crawl through a moving fan.
Right.
And I know the aliens are known to crawl through vents, but those vents look very small, so it would have been difficult.
They would not do so well in these little vents.
Mm-hmm.
They get to some bigger vents later on, where they can kind of crouch down and run around in them.
Yeah, I do also like how she wants to get away from Ripley here. Like, all the adults have failed me. Like,
right.
I'm better off just at least being away from everyone else. They'll get me killed.
Yeah, she says it later on, too, I believe. She has a line of, everybody's dead and you're going to die or something like that.
Well, she's like, oh, no, they're like, oh, we got all these guns and all these grenades and all these guns and whatnot. And she's like, that's not going to do you any good. Like, they're like, we'll keep you safe. No, you won't.
Yeah.
It's like, no,
I'm safe on my own. Can I go now?
Yeah, can I go now? Yeah, she's like, my parents are dead. Can I go? Shit.
Can I go now? You guys are going to die. I don't want to be around.
Yes.
I like the sets and the technology of aliens more than I do the first movie, because the first one, it looked too old and like rusty. This has a little more shininess to it.
And well, there was about 7 or 8 years difference between the movies, so they had a little more technological advancement at this point. Mm-hmm. The original, not a lot, but a little.
And like I said, Aliens Colonial Marines may have had its writing and gameplay issues. I enjoy it just for the nostalgia feel of this movie.
Yeah, this is a scene here that really starts to set up the dynamic between these two, and of course becomes a major push for the end sequence.
How come not as many people, when referencing child actors, mention Newt from Aliens? Because this was really good child acting. She could have just been a real nuisance as far as acting would go. Like, hello, okay, what? She's got like the good, like traumatized look.
I believe, if I remember right, the behind the scenes, she was just kind of picked randomly too, in England or London, something like that, from just a classroom of kids. And James Cameron just liked her look and how she acted, the realism of her the traumatization. Because to have a child actor in this, the child has to seem traumatized, or it just doesn't work.
Yeah, true.
There we go. Yeah, it sucks that Hudson, what's his name? Bill Paxton.
Yep.
He sucks he died so young. Wow. He was
I know, man. He was just on a roll with everything he's in.
He is best known for dying in 4 great franchises: Aliens, Terminator, Predator, and the MCU.
Yep, he was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Huh?
He's a good guy, bad guy.
He was
Twister, and he was in Twister.
He did this movie called Frailty, which was really good with Matthew McConaughey. I don't know if you guys seen that.
You didn't like Twister?
No. Oh, Twister was great.
I haven't seen Twister in a while, so I can't judge it.
Did he die in that one?
No. One movie he didn't die in.
And he was in one of the greatest films of all time, Weird Science.
Oh, yeah.
I have not seen that one all the way through just yet.
Where he turns into a giant turd.
Right.
Literally.
Oh, really? Don't
Yeah.
spoil it, man.
Oh, sorry. I don't tell you how it happened, but it happens.
Okay, I'll have to see that.
A fitting end to the character, definitely.
To Chet. Anybody named Chet.
Doesn't he like spit or swallow a cigar or something weird in that one? I can't remember.
Chet.
He swallows a cigar. Yeah.
What a great character.
This is good. That actually looks real. You know, like that thing's got guts.
I know. Like, I love the attention to detail James Cameron always has. And
now, here's the thing. Supposedly, they were going to do fancy work with his eyes.
And the acid blood, you'd think there's be some acid squirting out somewhere.
Well, I was thinking in the first Alien, when they examined the thing for the first time, they're like wearing gloves and stuff, but then they're not wearing like very protective face gear at all. And then there's like all around it. I'm like, well, I mean, if you're poking at it, I mean, I don't know. Even if it's not acid, like you think you'd have some type of eye protection or something. No.
Rumor is they were going to do something CG with Bishop's eyes right when he turned around toward, the face of the camera in that scene to, like a zooming of his pupils or something. And now they're getting ready to head out and find the colonists.
More miniature scene here.
Black Angus Reviews pointed out he does not like aliens for a lot of reasons, but one of them was because he said like the aliens and there's the xenomorphs seem to be intelligent creatures or professional killing creatures in the first one, and then in this one they're just kind of dumb that just follow a queen, and that's it, just a hive mind.
Yeah, on that matter, there actually was a different way the xenomorphs were conceived in the first movie. Dallas wasn't killed off. He was taken by the xenomorph to be morphed into an egg. And that's how the eggs came about. There was no queen. Yeah. But now I guess both that and the whole queen thing are considered canon. If there's no queen, they take people and morph them into eggs.
I didn't get that. So on the alien planet, there's just a queen that's just been alive for however many years. Like,
don't know. Honestly, that's the one part that still eludes me.
Like, I assumed that there was a face hugger on that giant creature, and then the queen came out of that guy or something. But
that would make sense. I will admit that.
Because they find a ship full of eggs originally. So, but that hole in the engineer is there. So I'm thinking the alien queen's been there the whole time. They just didn't see her originally.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But I don't get
how did the alien queen move from the derelict into that nuclear processor?
Probably when they started taking it over, she probably moved over there.
I have a question too. So did the xenomorphs eat anything? Because they seem to just
supposedly impregnate that tongue thing out of that double mouth thing. Supposedly they eat their brains.
Well, I don't know, because they just seem to impregnate everything. They don't really eat anything.
Yeah, but remember, sometimes they do kill people. They kill with their tongue shooting out of their mouth and
killing is different than eating, though. Like but
I'm pretty sure they eat them as they're killing them.
They don't seem to snack on them. They just, oh, you're dead, and then that's it. Or, oh, we take you alive and impregnate you.
Yeah, but I think, like I said, when they do that tongue thing to the skull right into one's brain, I think they take a chomp out of one's brain and, they feast on that.
But I mean, like, they don't seem to be actively trying to hunt for food. Like, do they need food to survive or no?
No. You got to look at them like insects. Kind of like, the worker bee. The bee just goes, gets his stuff for his queen, and it will drop dead to make sure that he gets all the pollen that he can. I know bees still eat a little bit or whatever, but their real purpose is just to go collect the pollen, bring it back for the queen, process the honey, and make more bees. And I think this is the same type of analysis with the aliens. They're like an insect,
so
and
live
they're all
long
about
enough,
taking care of the queen.
Basically, live long enough to make more bees.
Pretty much. That's how I look at it.
What do you think, Drunk?
I agree with Snow. I think they just have. I think their sole purpose is to collect whatever they can to create more aliens. In Prometheus, they were a creature to. If you understand why they were created, actually, I mean, if you go by the movies, the aliens were created to destroy, and then they would destroy themselves. So, in the prequel to all the alien stuff in Prometheus, the aliens were actually invented to destroy humans. and then once the humans were gone, they would just end up destroying each other. So according to the book, so that was the whole purpose of these aliens.
Huh.
If you go by that, yeah.
Joe says they were on a low carb diet.
Yeah. That's it too.
Yeah, back to what I was saying about the queen. I just wonder how she could have moved from the derelict to the nuclear processor.
They show her being able to move around.
Yeah, but here's the thing: when the queen starts to move, she basically loses the egg sac to produce eggs. So
I assume that they can create another
one, or is that it?
I assume they can create another one.
Yeah, if it's mimicking bees, then then they'll be fine.
So she can create another one even if she moves to a different location?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so in this scene, so the guy that's in the truck giving them orders, I was kind of confused on the ranking. Is he the highest ranked one here that's in the truck, or
he technically is, but he's really not. He's never seen battle experience.
Yeah, he's lieutenant. Apone is sergeant, and Hicks is corporal. So there's your run of who's in charge with the Marines.
Because the black dude seemed to be like he's had the most experience and the highest rank, but how would the lieutenant be the highest ranked if he has no experience? I don't really get that.
It's corporate stuff, you know. I mean, granted, that's not. I don't think it's true in real military fashion. Like the lieutenant usually has to work himself up to it, but the way they make it seem is he's just kind of got plugged in as lieutenant for whatever kind of credentials he had.
It just seems like in Doom, if they would have made the rookie their boss,
right.
It just doesn't make that much sense to me. I guess.
Well, Apone, in defense, Apone doesn't last too long himself. He didn't have the best ideas either. Apone should have told his Marines, "No, you keep your weapons. Don't listen to him." But instead, he goes through and takes all their ammunition away, which sets up
the chain of command when he should have thought on his feet.
Well, I mean, they did say that they're by a nuclear place, so too much fire in one location could blow the whole planet or the whole area up.
Yeah,
so it does make sense why they wouldn't, but that kind of goes. That kind of goes with what I said earlier about the practicality of their weapons, like in space and stuff. Like it seems like the ones that make the biggest explosions and fire wouldn't be that useful when you're space traveling, colony or something. You'd have more, sharper ways to kill people without so much fire and explosions.
Fun fact.
It's like
the technology is a little dated for this movie, I would think. Yeah.
Yeah. Like he's got his shotgun, which is so minimal compared to their huge plasma weapons.
Right.
And fun fact about about his shotgun, Hicks's shotgun in the Aliens Colonial Marines video game can be found. Guess what's written on it? No fate.
That's cool. I noticed that.
Yeah, if you go back and play Colonial Marines, the video game, if you find Hicks's shotgun, you'll see no fate written on the side.
We're an hour and 11 minutes into the film. Salty Nerd is in the chat, and the aliens are about to attack.
About to. First, they got to find the one with the chest burster.
And this was a great scene too, because you really felt the impact. And this one more so, I think, than you did in the original Alien.
Oh my God, the scene just made me urinate on myself. So
it's just some heebie-jeebie moment, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they kind of recreated what they did in the first one, but they did it in a way where, okay, this is annoying, so let's get rid of it.
Like Ripley's reliving her nightmare right now.
Is the alien going like? Is the alien going, "Mommy, Daddy"? Like, is it gonna be a nice one? No, they kill it. That'd be kind of funny if they imprint.
It just took them so damn long to get the flamethrower going.
Yeah.
And here's the thing that now worries me. If a facehugger pops out in the middle of an alien colony and you kill the chest burster, and you kill the chest burster, does the entire colony hear that and immediately attack because of that?
Well, they made it seem like it's a hive mind. They seem to mean like it's a hive mind thing. So one thing happens to one and they all kind of are aware that something happened.
Well, you can hear the little ones screaming when they're burning it. So if anything, that would trigger them, I would think.
Oh, yeah. That would definitely trigger them like SJWs.
Yes, sir. Like a Trump rally.
Yeah, So like Angus, Black Angus, had an issue with this whole scene because right here they just all seem like fodder, just like moths to a flame, rather than like the intelligent killing creature that he was, that like the alien was in the first one.
Well, the thing is, they don't know what they're up against right now, so that's why they just came out like a mob. So you got to understand, they were able to round up a bunch of humans pretty easily because they didn't have guns or anything, and bring them all to their colony. And now, you know, there's like what, 8 more, so no big deal. So I think his defense was wrong in that. But when they started shooting, they started to get more tactical in what they were doing.
And that's another thing I think doesn't really know is that the xenomorphs, they tend to take on the traits of their hosts. So like, you know, the one that bursts out of the chest and grows up.
Oh, there goes 2 right there.
And there's all the ammunition.
That which they
blows up anyway.
Yeah.
Let me know if you guys hear a lawnmower in the background. My neighbor's mowing the lawn, so I don't know if they'll come through in here.
What a scene, man. They just got wiped out.
All their ammunition.
And this is just a straight ass kicking.
Great cinematography too.
Hold on. So why are the xenomorphs considered like perfect? They consider I heard them say that in the first one, and then I don't know. They're like, oh,
they were talking about their defense mechanism and the fact that, you know, you cut them open and the acid can kill you, you know. So that's
and the fact that, you know, they don't exactly have a conscience.
Right, they're a perfect killing machine. You know, they don't care. They'll go right into fire and keep coming at you.
I don't really get how that qualified as perfect, though. I guess when I first heard that,
that just shows the narrow-minded stupidity of Weyland-Yutani.
Maybe the perfect weapon, you know. That's why the military Burke here wants to get a hold of them, because he knows they're a perfect weapon.
Perfect weapon. I thought the phrasing was perfect life form.
And Apone just got taken.
It was, but it's
you know, you got to
look read between the lines. You know, you can tell what they were actually after.
Yeah, something like as a life form goes, they seem to have short life cycles. I don't know, and can be killed easily enough.
This is great how they do the little camera moments flashing in.
I know, it's great cinematography.
Doom, only gone bad.
Instead of making it like super dark where you can't see nothing like Game of Thrones, they at least made it like realistic with the staticky camera work.
Yeah, I love the shit face he has. He looks so pale, the lieutenant. And she's like, do something.
He's melting down right now. He's having a complete meltdown. He's done.
Yeah, showing just how green he really is.
And this shows where Ripley kicks in, because she's been here, done that. She's ready for action.
Yeah, I do love that. She's like, I don't want to lose more people. You're just sitting here letting people die. Fuck this. I told you guys they were here. You guys didn't listen to me.
You're still not listening. I'm going to take over.
Now, this scene where I actually heard on commentary this scene where she's driving that thing like that. The camera got so close, someone almost could have gotten hurt or killed.
I think I remember about that too.
That's all miniature right there.
Part of it is an actual machine. They did build one of these, I know, for a couple scenes. But yeah, a lot of
this shot here where it gets so close to the light there.
Yep, that's a real scene.
That could have almost killed someone.
And the scene where they run over that alien here in a little bit too is a real one too.
I actually like the alien screen from this movie more than in the Isolation or the original movie. You know, it's like a you know, cat scream.
Do you guys think that it'd be cool if they like mixed the Alien universe and like the Starship Troopers / Halo universe or something? Like,
well, that's the interesting thing. When Cameron made this, he actually was inspired by the novel that made Starship Troopers.
That makes sense.
Yeah, because I mean, the way the military was in Starship Troopers, that's what inspired the Colonial Marines.
Wait, was Alien a book first?
No. Starship Troopers was a book first.
I know. I'm just double
checking. Great right here.
I'm just double checking because there seems to be so many movies based on books that I had no idea.
Covered them with acid.
Yep, I love the realism in that, and then the flamethrower comes back at him with that. Like,
right.
That's real good. I like that.
They're on fire.
So
That's
Such a good
actually a
scene
war,
because they're shooting, but you don't see what they're shooting at. So he tried to keep it mysterious, you know, and like let your imagination kind of grab a hold of you a little bit. This
Now,
scene
this
too is like
this
crazy
scene.
with the
Well,
little
it's like
hands coming in.
it's like
Yes.
this right here
Boom.
though. I
That's-
love this right here because it's like
What an edit.
there's
That's
the
a beautiful edit.
there's the
Have
flood
that.
of aliens coming at them. Then they shoot one down. Acid kills one guy. His flamethrower lights the inside of their truck
But
on
here's
fire.
the thing:
And the top of it.
when Hicks stuck the shotgun into the xenomorph's mouth and shot it, some of the acid got on Hudson's arm.
Yep.
Yeah, like I said, it didn't burn his arm off. So that's. But yeah, I think you're right. I think the face hugger's acid for blood is more concentrated and limb melting.
Makes sense.
Well, this one dude gets knocked out by like a box.
Boom. Good night.
Like that's it. Okay. See, that's why I like this whole sequence in the last minute because it's like a domino effect of shit going wrong for a second. It's like okay, we're supposed to grab you quickly, and now you're already here. Shit.
And it's a great sequential to get right down to our main characters for the rest of the movie, you know.
Yep. Well, it's like I do like her how she. I remember how freaked out she was in the first one, just seeing the alien on her ship with her. Like, you know, she was freaking out that it's there, kind of, but trying to kill it. And now she's like, you know, all right, motherfucker. Like, not today. Not today.
Oh, you dropped the MF bomb.
No.
Yeah, I'm not monetized. I don't give a shit.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, neither am I. So that's why
I mean, I'm not monetized either, but you know, I'm trying to get some subs and all that.
Well, yeah, but okay, drunk students are not watching my stream, right?
Yeah, no.
Like, so
And drunk students don't watch my videos.
You're free range here.
Yeah, Jolly didn't cuss. He
We
wouldn't
don't
be.
monetize ourselves before we're monetized. How are we ever going to get monetized?
Well, you won't.
I'm still in the waiting process, so
They don't really consider you until you get monetized, so you can't really destroy it before it unless you show perversion or something on your channel.
Yeah, even once you meet all the requirements, it still takes a while, right, drunk?
yeah, I met the requirements last week, so I'm like, my channel's under review. So.
Yeah, with drunk, unfortunately, he got to over 1,000 too quick, and then didn't have enough watch time. I've had enough watch time for the longest time.
Which is weird. Yeah, I know everyone's like, you're weird.
Well, then you're like, oh, put out a 2-minute video. It's like, okay.
I just wish I could get to 1,000, so that way I can get monetized.
Was it that Geeks and Gamers video, drunk, that put you over the 1,000 mark?
I was at 1,000 before they did that, and then that thrusted me close to 2,000.
Oh, okay.
So
you lucky SOB.
Thrusted.
Well, I put a lot of work in my Twitter account, so my Twitter is what did it. Like that was.
Yeah, your Twitter account helps you get more subs.
My Twitter, yeah.
Twitter helps.
Then I guess I'm gonna have to work double time on both ends.
I gain 10 Twitter followers a day. Right now I'm at 1,283. And I've only been on Twitter since like October.
Twitter people help you get your channel noticed, and especially from non-content creators. That's even better to get viewers that don't create content, so they'll actually watch all your videos.
Yeah, and if it wasn't for Twitter, I wouldn't have Geeks and Gamers wouldn't have helped me out because it was Twitter that got me into the Tiffy with Slash Films.
Oh yeah, right.
So like that was.
So far, I got 112 followers.
Now I'm in a Tiffy with Steele Saunders, but he'll be all right.
That's about where I'm at too. I'm still kind of new to the Twitter game. I had one for years, just never used it, and just recently started getting into it, and it does help. It's a good platform for growing your channel.
Oh, okay. Because I know that the Fandom Menace, or the Fandom Collective, likes to share some of my videos on there. So.
Yep.
Yeah, they're really good about that.
I like this scene too. How they're all like, "Okay, we gotta figure out how to destroy these things. Let's blow everything up." He's like, "Well, the equipment's expensive. I don't know about that." The corporate guy.
I like her remark when she said, "They can bill me."
And that's when Corporal Hicks takes over.
I love that Cameron uses the for like emotional effect. He uses the water spray bottle on people's faces because now you can see Burke. His face looks pretty clean, like dry. Then you go to Hudson and Hicks, and they've been like sprayed down a little bit, you know. And now you go back to Burke, and he's like dry. So
Thanks for coming by, Ancient One, Brandster, and Matt Vader. What's up, guys?
Hello and welcome.
We're an hour and 23 minutes into the film, just after the first huge alien encounter. Now,
what an interesting name, Spunkmeyer.
That's a muffin, isn't it?
Thought it was a type of hot dog.
Oh, it is Spunkmeyer muffins.
it does suck for them over here. Was there just like one alien that snuck on board somehow and just didn't want to attack them until now?
Yeah, it is a little weird, but yeah, I think that one xenomorph may have just been lurking around the area and then found its way on board. Like
I would have thought though that all the xenomorphs would have gone toward where all the toward the hive where all the
it
fire
must have been a
was.
scout. Maybe it heard them arrive and it just couldn't find them until after the colony had been attacked. Oh, and she's about to bite them.
They mentioned they're more active at nighttime too.
Yeah. Well, so what is their level of intelligence supposed to be like?
Well, like I said, they take on some of the traits of their hosts. So if their host happens to be a scientist, an intelligent one, chances are the xenomorph in question is going to take on some of those traits.
I mean, like, so is it going to have a beaker and go,
No, like an Alien 3. I know you haven't seen it yet, but the host is a dog, and the alien actually has a more dog.
In one version. In another version, the host is a cow.
Hold on, one at a time. What was that, Snow?
Well, I was saying in Alien 3, the host is a dog, and so the alien in that movie runs on 4 legs, acts more like a dog.
Okay.
And but yeah, in another version, like the director's cut version of Alien 3, it wasn't a cow. It wasn't a dog. It was a cow.
Well, wait. So that means it more takes on the traits of the animal it takes, not the individual. So like, it doesn't matter what.
That can also take on some of the the intelligence because
maybe a little. Yeah.
What does it take on then? Because it doesn't make sense to me with this. Like, if one's let's just say one's a gamer, what what's it gonna do differently?
Yeah, I don't think the personality but like genetic traits, like aliens that go through humans walk on 2 legs more than an alien that goes through a dog runs around on 4 legs more. That's how I look at it.
To a chimp, I would imagine it'd be hopping around, sometimes 2 legs, sometimes 4 legs, like dragging knuckles, maybe.
And if you remember from Aliens versus Predator, there was a facehugger that latched onto a predator, and it took some of its qualities.
It's an interesting analogy. They didn't really explore it very much. Like I said,
because if you remember EVP Requiem, however bad it was, it actually took it ripped someone's spine out, like the Predator is known for, and so
Right, but I mean, like, would you ever get an alien that would somewhat care about the type of species it's doing something with? Like with the Predator one, wouldn't it have?
Well, now you're getting into resurrection.
Because it just seems like the more you go into it, the more specific things need to be.
Alien Resurrection, Alien Resurrection touches on that with they bring back Ripley and kind of clone her to get the queen alien out of her, and the alien that comes out of her ends up having very human characteristics.
Like, I'm imagining that scene in Resident Evil 3 where they have that zombie like kind of domesticated-ish, and then they like put things in front of it like a cell phone, a camera, and like
it was doing fine until it did something that angered it, and the anger took over.
Like, is that what they're gonna do with the aliens at some point?
They do that.
Use your cell phone.
Resurrection. Yeah, you got a couple movies to go before you see that part.
Is that the third one, or what? What's the
Resurrection? Is 4, right? 4?
Yeah.
How many alien movies are there? What the hell?
Too many.
I thought there was the trilogy.
Get to the Alien versus Predator stuff. They haven't done an actual Alien movie since Resurrection, unless you include Prometheus and the other one. Yeah.
It's kind of funny how she's like, you keep on freaking out, but this little girl has survived longer than anyone without any skills or anything. And Paxton's all flipping out.
Again,
like, put her in charge.
He's all wet and
I love Hudson's quotes in this movie. He's got the best ones. Like the one where he says, if you haven't been paying attention, we just got our asses kicked, pal.
Yep. Game over, man.
Game over, man.
Yeah, we missed that scene.
I'm not watching with any music or any volume on behind, so I wouldn't have heard it anyway.
Yeah, no, it's there's so many quotes that I'm glad I have the volume down because I'd be rattling off Hudson quotes left and right.
We're about to get a Hicks quote in a minute.
Yeah, send Bishop, man.
Great.
Let Bishop
All we
do
need
it.
is the deck of cards.
And the pacing of this movie is really good too.
Better pacing than the first one, I'll admit.
I
Yeah.
agree. Things are actually happening in this,
Yeah,
even when
move
there's nothing
along.
happening.
Right. The story never really slows down too much.
Well, it's like when there's no action, there's the dialogue that they're using progresses the story. That's
Right.
where in the first one, it just seemed like they're just kind of chilling around.
Well, Cameron called it, his favorite quote of the movie is, I believe he called it 7 miles of bad road. And so at any point in the movie, you still feel the dread, that's over them. And it never goes away.
Right. I do also like the progression of the little girl, like how she went from completely silent, trying to hide, to being slightly more open to conversing with them, and then like kind of being attached to the people a little bit.
And actually becomes kind of a hero towards the end.
Yeah.
Because she shows them how to get out of that one place where they get stuck, and by going through the vents.
Well, she technically gets out like 2 people, but yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
They're stuck at that moment. They got aliens on both sides of them.
Yeah.
And there's the turret guns.
Right, and I was saying earlier, this scene, or a part of this scene at least, was definitely kept in the original theatrical release, because I remember seeing it in the movies, and for some reason they cut it out later, and it was just this scene, these gun scenes.
Yeah, this would be kind of fun to play like Nazi zombies with, but with the aliens.
And I like this scene between Hicks and Ripley. Doesn't mean we're married or anything.
Do you guys hear the lawnmower in my thing or no?
Not
I
really.
don't really hear anything, no.
Okay, good, because like my neighbor, I have my window open and my neighbor's mowing their lawn, and it sounds like it's right there. But as long as you guys don't hear it, that's fine. Sweet. Yeah, this would be a good video game setting. Do they have this in the video game? Like this type of setup or the scene?
Oh yeah, there are multiple occasions where you have to like stand guard at a certain point and set up the turret guns to help you hold off the aliens.
Interesting.
Yeah, the Corporal Marines one, they actually brought back the actors too for a lot of the voices.
Mm.
I believe they brought back Vasquez.
They definitely brought back Michael
Drake.
Biehn.
And Michael Biehn, yeah. They brought back, I want to see Lance Henriksen too, if I remember right, for a few scenes. Yeah. Too bad the gameplay was kind of terrible on that one.
And some of the retcon storytelling could have been a little bit better.
Yeah.
The ancient one in the chat. We're not
But I
playing.
still have fun with it.
We're not playing the sound through the movie. We're all watching it ourselves. So if you wanted to follow along with us, then you could. Yeah, isn't that Max? Well, yeah. If you want to follow along with us, then you put in your own version at your place, and we're at around we just passed the minute or the hour and a half mark.
I noticed you didn't. Forgive me, rookie. I just noticed you didn't put the timer on your thing like you did yesterday.
Well, I was going to, but that's just I was watching it on my TV. But I'm watching it on my computer right now, and if I have that on, I can't present the clock while I'm also watching the movie. So either watch the clock or I watch the movie, and I'm supposed to do commentary, so watching the movie. Yep. Anti-Bird answered my question. So there's Alien 1, 2, 3, Resurrection, both the AVP films, and Prometheus and the Covenant.
Yeah, Alien Covenant did not like.
What happens in
I
that
haven't
one?
seen any of them, but I do have Prometheus on Blu-ray. I just haven't gotten around to watching
Prometheus, I loved. I watched Prometheus several times. Alien Covenant, I just didn't like it because the aliens could pregnate humans through spores in your eye
That's
without
weird.
having any. Yeah, it's
So
bad.
basically,
I didn't like
Covenant
it.
basically broke continuity. It's the
Yep.
last Jedi.
Wait. So they get the chest burster through spores?
So they're walking around so the aliens are have made a home base and new humans show up and they're walking around some bushes and they kick up dust or whatever and it gets in their eye and then that's how the alien grows in their stomach through that and that was really dumb. I didn't like it at all.
It sounds like I don't even know.
Extremely lazy writing. Basically, they were walking around like a wheat field, and they kick open some spores that float into their eye, and then now they're impregnated with the thing. It's really bad.
I think we lost Snow Dub.
No, he said he'll be back in a bit. He's got his phone.
Oh, okay.
All jacked up, but no. I was gonna say oh, that sounds like what a kid would come up with, but I think a kid would be more clever.
That's true.
Or they'd at least be more imaginative than spores.
Well, it's such a mind. It's such a crazy from Prometheus to Alien Covenant. It's basically the person who invents the aliens is Bishop.
Well,
not Bishop. So the creatures haven't existed for that long. Is that right? They just were kind of new.
So all right. So they wanted to discover, the guy wanted to discover aliens. So the corporation wanted to discover where human life came from. So he had synthetics and humans, and they found this planet where they figure human life was created by a different type of alien life that looked like humans. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So humans were created by an alien life that looked like humans, and humans got out of hand and took over Earth. So the other aliens that look like humans invented the aliens to send, and they were going to send to Earth to wipe out the humans on Earth.
Okay.
All right, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
So when the humans in Prometheus figured out that the human-like creatures that that created humans now created aliens to kill off the humans, they tried to stop them. And the end of the movie is a trailer park ending with synthetics, a synthetic named David and another human going after the ship before it reaches Earth. And then Alien Covenant picks up with the synthetic David, who basically said, I fell in love with the alien creature and I made it perfect. So over the years, he took the humans that he was supposed to protect and basically used them to create a perfect alien. So it was the synthetic who fell in love with the alien, saying because it's a perfect specimen, and made it the alien that we have from Alien 1.
That's stupid.
That's the movie. Yeah. And so the planet from Alien Covenant is where they're at now.
So the creators of humans created humans that created the synthezoids, and then the people that created humans created the aliens, and then they fell in love with the. Okay.
I'm telling you, it's a mind. It's like a.
I just want a Alien versus Predator video game, a sequel to the PS3 version, where humans and predators go to the home world of the xenomorphs and just finally put an end to it.
See, I assumed that in the Predator film that came out last year or whatever, that one of the people that would come to Earth would be the guy who survived in Predators.
Oh, yeah, but that was the thing. They actually said this took place before that event.
Yeah, that's stupid.
I know, I know.
That's what I'm saying. They would have been smart to have to link the movies to, a better degree and enhance the story without having some stupid giant predator. That's not really clever.
Yeah, I just for some reason Fox lost their cool with the whole Predator franchise.
Yeah. Now I assume a drunk that this and Geoff that this scene was supposed to be tension filled with the guns running out of ammo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now they're like, what are we gonna do?
They're like, now we got to fight them. Fuck.
Yeah, and they're not ready to fight them yet.
Yeah. So wait, they had first they had 17 weeks, then 17 hours, and then 4 hours. Is that the time that they're going on with till they have to escape?
Yeah, they thought they were going to have weeks to wait, but now they got out less than a few hours because of the whole.
Yeah, things can explode. Okay.
Right. Yeah, and nuclear blast.
But why was there going to be a nuclear blast? Because they didn't fire a nuke.
The aliens ruptured their
nuclear reactor.
Yeah, the reactor's wrecked, and it was like the plane crash or something like.
Oh, and there was nukes on board, and it's by the reactor. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes more sense. Okay, I was kind of lost on that. I'm like, it's just gonna explode now. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's rupturing, so the nuclear reactor is gonna blow if they don't get out in so much time.
Either of you ever played the Resident Evil video games?
Nope.
Oh man,
yeah.
The Resident Evil 2, both the classic and the remake video game, they kind of took inspiration from both Terminator and Aliens because, like Aliens, they have this new virus, the G virus, which basically involves someone getting impregnated and then a creature bursting out of one's body, and then it goes after this little girl that one of the characters has to protect. And then it's also like Terminator, where again you got to protect the young character, and there's this other monster that's stalking around like a relentless killing machine, like the Terminator.
Yeah.
So if you ever play the classic Resident Evil for the PlayStation or Resident Evil 2 remake for the the PS4 or even both, I think you'll see some parallels.
Yeah, this is also great cinematography. Bishop crawling in the tunnel.
Oh yeah,
narrow tunnel.
Good.
I don't know if I would be able to move through that.
Good claustrophobia.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to fit. I wouldn't be able to fit at all.
Good claustrophobia. I'm too fat.
I would give it. I would see it as I'm safe in that narrow tunnel because I doubt the xenomorphs could crawl through that.
Well, I wouldn't care if they could crawl through. They got that sharp tail. They got their claws. They got their tongue. They got their acid blood. I would not be safe in there.
Sorry, guys, my phone died.
Not if they knew you were there. Not if they knew you were there.
Hey, Snowdub, you back?
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I forgot to put my phone on the charger. I thought of it earlier, then I just kept talking, and whoops.
What are you using now?
I'm still using my phone, but finally it's plugged in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Did you not get like a 5% warning on your phone that you're almost out of battery?
I did, and then I just completely forgot about it because I got so enthralled with the conversation.
Okay. Yeah, we're at the part now where I don't know if you're still watching it or not. But we're at the part where the sentry guns are going off.
Yeah, a lot of this was cut.
Did you hear my whole Prometheus Alien Covenant explanation?
I did. I was listening to it, and you're pretty right on.
Pretty crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, Ridley Scott. I don't know where Ridley Scott's going with that. He's kind of all over the place. And he didn't make very much money on the last one, didn't he? So he ain't gonna make another one, I don't think.
Yeah, it just wasn't good. Like, I don't get like the spores in the eyes and stuff. I just didn't was like so lame.
So did they create life on Earth or just humans? Like, there's already life there, and then they came and made humans?
Yeah, so apparently they made humans.
The engineers, yeah.
The engineers made humans for slaves, but they didn't know, like, people didn't know that.
Were the engineers from Earth? Like, they grew up on Earth, and then we kind of
took over? They kind of left it. Who knows?
Like, was that their own planet? Because to me that seems less logical because of the evolution of the other creatures on the planet. Like as embryos could look like humans and all that. So
the engineers are all dead now because the synthetics killed them.
The synthetics killed them now? What?
It's out there, buddy. Ridley Scott had a trilogy, I believe, in mind, and he still hasn't made the third movie. I don't know. He may never make it now, and I'm not saying that would explain this stuff, but he didn't finish the story.
So there's like an army of robots now?
No, it's just one.
Just one robot kills the intelligent species.
So when the engineers left Earth, they were on another planet, and there wasn't a lot of them. So the reason why they couldn't kill off all the humans themselves is because humans overran the population. So that's why they invented this alien thing. They were going to fly it into Earth and wipe out humans, and then the aliens would just eventually die off, and then they could take Earth back. So, yeah, it's crazy. So when the synthetic went back to the engineer planet, all the engineers came out to watch the spaceship, and he just like nuked them all up and kind of like took over. One synthetic.
Excuse
named
me.
David.
Interesting thing just now as Hicks is showing her how to wield the pulse rifle. Two things. One, a moment ago, he said, when the time comes, I'll do us both. They actually use that line also in Predators, where they're on the Predator hunting ground. And also, you know, she's been an advocate. I think she was an advocate for what is it, gun regulation or something like that.
Yeah, she actually paid money to some foundations that were totally against guns. She hates guns. I did a video on this one. My Jolly.
She enjoyed doing this bit.
Yeah, well, this movie kind of changed her mind a little bit about it, and which is kind of ironic too. And she's still not pro-gun by any means. Neither is Cameron, but they both understood the legitimacy of it and needed it in the movie. So
yeah. I also like that the pulse rifle has that like digital counter on it.
Yeah, that's a nice touch.
Yeah,
that's what I'm saying. Like
now just about every first-person shooter game is trying to replicate that. Obviously,
the details that Cameron puts in his film are fantastic. Like when he did Titanic, he freaking built a big miniature Titanic to sink, and it was the biggest. It was at the time it was the most expensive movie ever made, and he just doesn't hold back when it comes to detail. Like he notices everything. Like he didn't have to add that counter on the gun. But it was cool that he did. So it was just like one of those things.
I'm doing right with my story. I'm trying to go over every detail before I finally finish the whole darn thing.
Cameron's a trendsetter. I mean, I hated Avatar, but he definitely made you know, a great 3D movie. So
that's what I'm saying. Like I went to Avatar to see the 3D-ness, and that's why I like I'm like, holy crap! Like this is. That was amazing. Level. The story was whatever, you know, but like, yeah, so you go there to watch it. I made out with a girl in that film. So that's why it was so cool to me. And like, it was pretty cool.
Nice.
I don't want to get any more into the story, but that's
right.
Oh man, my cat just took a shit in the litter box. It smells.
And this is why I don't
know the feeling. I had a cat for 13 years.
I shouldn't bury it, bitch.
Well, I am a dog person.
The smell just hits you right in the face.
If you know where I'm sitting, like my table is set up in the middle of my room because I have to set up my table, and the litter box is like on the floor in my closet, and it's just like right in my path. And
that's just wrong on so many levels.
I just had to tell that to the chat. You know, it's important information.
Kitty took a shit.
Yep.
Timestamp.
Yep. See, there's a cat in this movie, so it makes sense that I would say that. So,
right.
Except the cat left hours ago.
Yeah, the cat only has that scene in the beginning. She even says,
fact, the pulse rifle is a dressed-up Tommy gun, says Geoff TheIronWolf. I did not know that.
You know, the Tommy gun is clearly an outdated kind of gun. What would happen if someone decided to bring it back?
This is where we find out Burke is the actual true bad guy of this movie.
Yeah.
It's not the aliens at all. It was all Burke.
Well, the aliens are a threat for sure.
Yeah, they're a threat, of course, but they're not the bad guy. Kind of like that Game of Thrones, you know.
Yeah.
Ice Walkers, there were monsters, but the real bad guy is Cersei. And everybody keeps freaking out on that one.
So has anybody ever put this in like continuity of like events or something to make sense? Like the whole series, this whole Alien series.
You can't make sense of it now, buddy. It's so all
It was
over.
simpler 20 years ago.
So I'm thinking like the more you go into every detail about everything, the worse it gets when it unfolds. Like the simpler, the more mystery, the better in a way.
I agree.
Without making more and more questions. I do like how the freaking thing can crawl, like a scorpion or something, like a spider and a scorpion.
Yeah, that's interesting. I like how it's kind of doesn't have gravity, so to speak.
I don't get how it can leap though, like leap like that. You know,
it's awesome, and it's very strong. Like it's awesome.
Like, does it use its tail as like a spring? Like, wah!
Well, there's a scene coming up with Newt where she falls down this shaft into some water, and an alien comes up behind her. Dude. And I feel like that scene gives the real spectrum of the alien.
I like if I was her, that would be in a giant photo in my house.
Oh, that's an awesome scene.
That one scene where she's I don't know how she ain't freaked. Like I would be freaked out filming that, but the way they showed how they made that scene was a giant hand puppet. Puppet on a string. I mean, excuse me. They pulled it up straight from the water.
That's very impressive then. Wow, on a film standpoint, that's great.
And that shot was used in the trailer too.
Oh my gosh, it's also a GIF. It's great.
Imagine being in the situation they're in right here, in a boxed-in room with two facehuggers and no gun.
And that's why we have nightmares.
The facehugger, the ultimate humper.
Well, it's basically a hand that rapes you.
Well, good thing Ripley's a smoker.
It's two hands with a penis. Basically. Yeah. Two hands with penis and a tail is what it is. Because
Ripley's a smoker, she turned on the.
Well, and she had the lighter in the first place.
Exactly. So smoking actually helped her out this time.
Yeah. And even if you're not a smoker, it's best to have a lighter just in case.
Right. I agree.
I also like how the tail wraps around her throat, which kind of forces her to open her mouth. So, like, even if she wanted to try to prevent it from closing in,
that's a reverse shot right there.
Yeah, I saw that. I noticed that when I watched that. I was like, hey, that went backward.
Yep.
Oh, and it's the other one sneaking up.
Ugh.
So great, though.
Smart girl, though, that she does that, because that could have gone south easily. And if she lets up on it, could have easily gotten her.
I think they had like 20 different puppets and animatronic facehuggers for just this scene, just for the two of them. There's like 20 different ones they filmed.
But this should just show like practical effects are. It just looks awesome.
See, I was gonna say, I'm okay with some CGI here and there, but I do wish that films that are going to incorporate a lot of CGI do have the good mix of practical as well, so they can kind of blend it, without shoving the CGI in our face every scene. We get a good sense of practical.
But it's all camera angles and like lighting. Like you gotta be like CGI makes people a little lazy. I hate to say it, but it's just because you could just film everything in a green screen and then just add whatever you want later.
But then again,
it makes life easy for the editors too, because the editors don't have to chop as much.
Well, no, but I do give credit to the actors that have to act with the green screens.
Definitely.
Because, like in Star Wars, everybody, really makes fun of their acting. But I'm like, what do you expect? Because their acting.
That's what I'm telling you. Like that's why in the prequels, the acting was. I testimony half the bad acting was because you're just standing in a giant green room and you don't know what's next to you. You don't know who you're really talking to. You're just kind of like read this and then walk away.
But that's
George Lucas is a director.
Excuse me. Question. Who thinks that the pulse rifles, they shot bullets, but do any of you ever wonder if maybe they should have shot actual laser beams like in Terminator?
Well, do they have laser beams here?
I've never seen a laser beam in these alien movies. I don't know if they have that technology.
They're basically just supposed to be space marines, so I wouldn't think they'd have something that advanced.
Yeah, in the beginning there, where Hudson kind of goes off about all the weapons they have, it sounds like they had some big time weapons,
Yes, plasma pulse rifles.
But I think all that got wiped out on the plane and the ATV or whatever.
Yeah, I think they made that clear before. Well, and they had the black dude take away their bigger rounds, I think.
Yeah, they actually have. I think I was gone during that scene, but there's a scene where they kind of add up what they have left. You know, a few clips, M80s, a couple flamethrowers. You know,
Yeah, you were gone during that scene. Yep.
Hey,
ain't
Drunk.
too much left.
Hey, Drunk. You said that you had played the Resident Evil games. Have you played Resident Evil 5?
I believe so.
You know, one of the bonus costumes for Chris Redfield was heavy metal.
Yes.
It actually reminds me of the Colonial Marines attire.
I can't remember that far back.
Oh, well, if you
Too
decide
much
to look it
alcohol
up,
in my system, buddy.
yeah, if you decide to look it up, yeah, heavy metal Chris kind of looked like a Colonial Marine to me.
What is? Yeah, yeah. I think I could see that.
This is a great scene too.
And again, I like the motion tracker in this one.
Yeah, I think they took this. This scene kind of reminds me of Jaws, because the whole movie Jaws, they tease the shark and you see little moments of it until like near the end, like the middle end, and then they finally like just give you the whole thing. And like this scene coming up is when they finally just go, "Here's the aliens, man. They're coming for you, and we're showing everything." Because you know, like in the opening fighting, the aliens were hiding, and you just see the Marines kind of shooting off into the darkness. So it doesn't really, and you do see aliens here and there, but nothing like what you're about to come across now. Like,
oh yeah, what's going to happen here is going to make you shit your pants.
And
yeah,
great
this is like their big thing, and then
again, I feel like their progression and tension, because you know they think they're getting closer, and then they take a look, they're above them, and then below them, and they keep on trying to go. They keep on trying to escape, but the guy locks the door. Like, I like the way that they escalate the tension.
But see, I think they had all of us too when we were like, man, no one checked the ceiling.
I thought too. I was like, what do you mean you have it all barricaded in? They're freaking, they climb on the walls and shit.
And that's when you see one of the most simplest camera tricks ever known to man, and that's where they just turn the camera upside down to make it look like they're climbing on a ceiling.
Yeah,
I thought it looked weird. I was like, what the hell? It's like, that looks shot kind of funny.
Yeah, they just flip the camera around. It's just them crawling on the floor.
All right, I'm gonna watch this. I gotta turn it up a little bit.
Okay. We might not have as much commentary during this part, guys.
Yeah, it's pretty intense when you're like it.
Because I literally had no idea what was going on.
How about Paxton's freaking out? They're right over us, man. What the hell? 1 meter.
I'm reading it right, man.
And she's looking up now.
She's like, oh yeah, there's a ceiling, dirt.
This is great.
Who would peek their head out, though, really? I mean, I'd just be waiting.
Let's build the tension. And I like all the blues in this.
There we are.
Oh, such a great scene.
Yeah. Here they come. It's go time.
Such a great scene.
This time it's war.
And I
They're
love
like
the
jumping everywhere like kangaroos and stuff. It's so cool.
I love the Hudson turn, you know, because he's kind of a coward up to this point. Then he just heroes up.
Joe asked a good question in the chat. He says, wasn't it true that they only had 6 guys in alien suits for the big attack to make it look like they were hundreds of them?
I don't know the exact number, but yeah, it was just people in suits. They probably just filmed over and over again, I'm sure.
Such a dick move by the what's-his-face. See, so what's the guy thinking that tried to lock them here? Like, how does he think?
Well, because the synthetic, you know, he's still going to get the ship. So if he could just like lock everybody in there and just wait for him to come get him.
It just seems like it's kind of stupid to try to kill off your Marines before you leave the planet.
Well, he doesn't want them to. He don't want them to live because he's going to get tattletailed on.
They're getting Hudson.
Yeah, they were already on the verge of killing him anyway.
Paxton, no.
No, Hudson.
So sad. Like, we wanted him to live.
Yeah.
I love that. Those 4 fingers that strap across his face. That's just such a great scene.
I just kind of want to see the aliens, the xenomorphs, after there's no more life in the universe, like just chilling with a cup of tea. Like, you know, this is what do we do after? What's life after all the life's gone for xenomorphs? What do they do?
They go into hibernation.
They go. You know, for what though? Just forever? Just
they become SJWs and start eating each other.
The aliens themselves apparently die off, and the eggs just kind of sit quietly in hibernation.
What really sucks about Aliens Colonial Marines is the fact that you did find the body of Hudson, but you know he was killed off too.
Well, yeah, he gets taken away to probably get wrapped up and cocooned, I think.
Yeah, you find him and his chest is already burst, and it's what's also sad is how Bill Paxton actually passed away. It was in the middle of heart surgery.
Yeah.
The cool thing about the camera angles that he does here, like Burke was never really in front of an alien. He was just in front of the camera. And then they filmed the aliens all, and probably in the studio. And then they just mashed those two scenes together and it made it look like he was standing there.
Yeah.
Like I just love the cinematography that's very creative. Like these scenes in the vents, it's just like
That's
honestly
nightmare
that set probably didn't cost anything. They're just basically walking through little like a vent. And they probably walk through the same vent over and over again and just turn left instead of turning right on the next one.
That's what I was about to say too. I don't think there's actual pathway. Same one in each shot, just different. Or this,
it's just extremely creative.
Very impressive.
What I don't get is how the xenomorphs were also cutting through, like the one of them was ripping through the vent floors or something like that.
Look how fast they are. It's so awesome.
And the lighting.
Yeah, I don't know. Their tail has a lot of special abilities, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I mean, like it seemed like the vents were within the walls, yet it seemed like it came up from underneath.
Yeah, I guess, but so
they have kind of an anti-gravity to them. They have like weightlessness. You could tell.
Yeah, because here's Vasquez. She's shooting at the ones coming after her, and now she's dropped her pulse rifle and got a pistol, and now one's coming down on top of her.
Right.
So how come when they tried to terraform the planet, they didn't find the alien ship first?
And now she's got acid on her ankle.
Yeah, I don't know. I like how the body's squirming around.
Yeah, it's great, flipping and flopping.
Yep, that does suck right here, but it's like, yep, good way for them to go
across the Gorman.
I was mad. I didn't want back because I didn't want anyone to die.
She reminds me of Michelle Rodriguez so much.
Yeah, I hate when Michelle Rodriguez usually dies in movies like this.
You were always an asshole, Gorman. He has his little moment too, his little retribution moment here, where he kind of helps them get away finally.
Yeah,
screwing it all up from the beginning.
When I saw Resident Evil, I was really upset that Michelle Rodriguez's character, turned into a zombie even after they gave her the antivirus. But then again, it kind of gave you that same Vasquez feel.
Actually, it was before the antivirus.
No. In the movie, it gave her the antivirus on the train, but then minutes later, she still turned into a zombie.
Oh.
Yeah, here we go. That's when the separation happens.
Uh-huh. Yep. To build more tension.
And to really put Ripley character into overdrive. This is where she stops running and starts fighting.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, yeah, you do feel it with her. She never got to see her kid grow up.
She's not, yeah. And that's another reason why I hate, Alien 3, and I will not accept it as canon.
The actress that plays Newt said that she screwed that scene up multiple times so she could keep going down the slide.
That makes me love her even more.
That's awesome. See,
I would have done the same thing.
Yeah, James started catching on after like the third or fourth take.
Ah.
I do think
that scene, 3PO.
Well, it's in a few minutes, I think.
Awesome.
But I do think that it would have been interesting to have her grow up at some point, like as a teenager, if they didn't have her get killed in the next one.
Oh my gosh! You know how scary this scene is. I mean, you think about it, like where I live near lakes that have alligators, and you gotta walk through it, and it's just like what?
And it's like chest high.
Yeah, it's not even like your ankles. It's like
you can see notice any strings or anything like.
I'll try to look, but yeah.
I'm sure they edited it out properly.
I try not to think about it and just focus on the movie itself.
No, I just because I'm so I love.
It's impressive. It's impressive.
Yeah, it's so impressive to me.
Yeah, I like that you're noticing these extra film things, Drunk, because I really do appreciate those types of efforts in movies. And I know that.
They set this up perfect with the tracker and how it continuously gets closer and closer as he's welding and welding, trying to get to her.
Oh, I agree. It's
beautiful.
Like your heart just keeps beating. Like, hurry up.
Yep, go.
And it's like, oh, they're not up here. Oh no, they're down there.
Yeah, the anxiety of this moment is just perfect. I mean, the tension.
Well, it makes you think too. So when an alien grabs a victim, like, do they knock them out real quick, or just kind of carry them while they scream? Like,
sometimes they kill, because, like I said, what you saw with Burke, the tongue thing, it goes into.
I can see how the angle is that of a string, but I did not see a string.
Like on the tail, definitely you could see where it might have pulled.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great scene!
Like I see where it's pulled, but I don't see the string itself. So that's very impressive.
And that was
that little cut in the trailer too.
Doll there.
That little cut in the trailer really set off the trailer. I remember when it was first coming out.
Yeah, when
I gotta run. I gotta make some dinner, and I got a stream to do tonight. And
right, thanks for hanging out.
Well, thank you for hanging out with us.
No, it was awesome. I'm gonna finish the movie at home anyway because it's on now. So
Okay.
If I have some time when I'm done cleaning up, I'll pop back on. So we'll go from there.
All right. Well, we got like 20 minutes or so left, so that's all good.
All right, Drunk.
Later.
Yeah, well, he wanted to stick around for his favorite scene.
Like that bit where he just tapped the button more. Oh, and now he's injured.
It's the little details of this movie that really set it off and set it apart from the rest of the Alien movies.
I think so, big time. At least as far as compared to the first one.
Compared to any of them, as far as I'm concerned.
In this whole movie, I wasn't going, gosh, are they going to do something?
And here's another homage to Terminator. Michael Biehn is the one being carried by the woman. And so, yeah, no strong female characters there, huh?
Yeah, and you don't feel like it's forced at all. You know, you really feel like she's coming into her own in the process of all this traumatization.
Yeah, because both Hicks and Reese were injured by this point in the movie, and therefore the female had to carry them.
Exactly. Yep. And now she's got to depend on the one thing she hates the most, and that's a synthetic person. So she's really in a pickle.
Yep. I do like her disappointment after she escapes and he's not there.
Yeah.
It's like, God damn it.
Yeah, God damn you, Bishop, because she's out. You know, she doesn't trust him.
I like this shot of the ship flying right into the destabilizing factory, because it's like she knows she's going into hell, but she's not hesitating.
So is this a model or CGI?
I believe that's model with a green screen, if I remember right.
Oh, okay, I can see the green screen effect there. Then that makes sense. Yep. Looks like it's on a screen.
Take both the pulse rifle and the flamethrower and tapes them together.
Yeah.
It's a great montage moment, and a lot of people don't know that James Cameron produced Rambo Part 2, Sylvester Stallone's movie.
Yeah.
And there's a montage in that movie where he's kind of strapping up and getting his weapons ready and stuff, and it's a great throwback to this scene that you see her packing up all her weapons. Yeah. It's almost the same scene.
Haven't seen it in a while, so I'll have to look at it, see it again.
I've only seen the Rambo one where he fights the Koreans or something.
Oh, I'm talking about this back when Cameron was a producer, just starting out. So 85, I think it was, Rambo Part 2. But he was a producer of that one, and it's still, I mean, that last Rambo was really good, but I think Part 2 might still be the best one as far as action goes, just because Cameron produced it. He didn't direct it, but he produced it.
So I'm confused with the alien thing. So I thought the aliens take the humans back so that they could be.
This is the deleted scene too, where they exchange their first names.
Yes, that's a deleted scene. They don't do this in the theatrical one.
Yeah, because all we ever knew her by was Ripley. We never got her first name until this movie. This also kind of reminds me of Resident Evil 2 as well, because she's going down into the depths of hell, in order to, you know, save the little girl.
And it's a great mother instinct type of scene on all fronts, because you got the mother of the aliens facing off the mother that wants her child, and it's kind of a stare down there for a minute, and it's just a great moment with a good metaphor behind it.
Yeah. And I don't know if I've ever told either of you, but I actually my favorite Halloween movie is Halloween 4. Because the bond between Rachel and Jamie kind of reminds me of the relationship between Ripley and Newt.
Oh yeah, I liked 4. That was the return of Michael, right? After they had that part 3 with the masks, kind of threw it off.
Yeah, believe it or not, the one with the masks, the part 3, could be considered canon because they could say that Michael Myers' mask is the same as one of those, just it had a different effect compared to the masks that killed the kids and the families. It had the effect of strengthening the user to immortal status.
I do remember 4 coming out in theaters too, and it actually did really well. I remember everybody's pretty excited about Michael Myers being back.
Yeah, I saw several of the. I think I did see 1 and 2, but 4 was the one that appealed to me more.
Yeah, 4 was fine. I even liked 5. You know, it's not till later ones that got kind of cheesy.
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, the young actress who played the little girl, Danielle Harris.
Yeah, she comes back to the Rob Zombie movies.
Yeah, she wants to reprise her role as, you know, in these Halloween movies. Yet they keep going back to the more reluctant Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, that'd be cool. And Ripley, by the way, Sigourney Weaver, she has still been totally open to revisiting this character. And
do it right, of course.
Yeah, so I know, you know, I think eventually we'll get it. I think we'll get one more with her. And hopefully they don't Jake Skywalker, you know, her.
What do you think? What do you want from her out of it?
I would like to see what's that actor or director who did the District 9 movie? I can't think of his name.
Peter Jackson, the one who also did Lord of the Rings?
Not Peter Jackson. No. He did District 9 and Chappie and a couple others. Anyway, Elysium, I think was the other one he did. Well, anyway, he had a script written out for kind of a part 3 after this movie where Hicks lives, Newt lives, and it's like 20, 30 years later type of thing. And they have to go back and fight one more time type of thing. And there wasn't a whole lot of detail out there. But
I like that idea. I'll go with it.
That's what I want to see. Yeah.
Yeah. Here's what I would like to see. Have it be like it's Colonial Marines versus Wayland Yutani. And Ripley, Newt, Hicks, and the now repaired Bishop android are, you know, heads of the Colonial Marines trying to take down Wayland Yutani. And basically, while they're battling Wayland Yutani, that's when, you know, they find the homeworld of the Xenomorphs, and it's a three-way war.
That could be great.
Why is she randomly setting things on fire?
I believe that's to draw out any aliens that might be hiding.
No, actually, I think those are flares.
No, before with her flamethrower before the flares.
Oh yeah.
She's trying
to keep any draw out any that are there. That way she can fight her way through.
In case she walks past one and tries to come up behind her.
Yeah.
Because they're sneaky. You'll notice here in a minute in the fight, also, they pop out all kinds of different directions.
Also, there was a deleted scene here where she finds Burke, you know, with the chest burster inside him, and she leaves a grenade in his hand.
Yeah, well, so I was gonna say, so when they get brought back here, I thought they get brought back here just so they can get the facehuggers on them, but then somebody else said they're cocooned, like, to do what? Like, other than if their use is not just for facehuggers, I don't know what else they'd be for.
That's exactly what they're for. They're a host. They're a host for more aliens that go get more people to make more aliens. It's kind of just an ongoing process.
And the interesting thing is, I found out some of what she had to remove from Newt was actually like a form of glass, and she actually cut her hand right around here.
Yeah, they were pretty hard prosthetics, I guess. And it actually was a struggle getting it off of her, I guess.
Yeah. For some shots, it was actually the young actress. For other shots, it was a doll she had to carry.
Yeah, you can see the doll here in a couple scenes. I think that's the scene right there, actually, of the doll.
Focus on her face, yeah. And right into the Queen's chamber. I like how it seemed like to slow down right there.
Mm-hmm.
When she realizes she's in the shithole.
I love how all the sound drops out here. There's no music. There's no nothing. Just a little bit of the flamethrower sound.
In any modern movie, they'd be playing music right here.
Nah, don't need it.
Don't need it. Yeah, the sound of the thing squirting another egg out. But we don't need any music for this scene. The tension is good enough.
So I don't get why her thing is so long.
I don't get it either.
Why is it like 20 feet long?
I don't think we see another one of these in another movie. Actually,
No.
I think it was cool in
AVP.
Well, it's okay. So, and in this with the alien queen right here, why is she just kind of staring at her? Like, was she just gonna grab her or not? Like nothing. Just she didn't really do anything.
Well, I think the queen is more intelligent, obviously, than the rest, and she probably sees the fact that she's got a flamethrower and stuff. And you'll notice there's a showdown here where Ripley points her flamethrower at the egg. She fires it in the air and then points it at the eggs to kind of show the alien, hey, I'm in control of this situation. And so the alien queen backs her things off. Like, watch, you'll see. There's actually communication between them. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, I kind of saw that, but I just didn't really get. So, okay, if she's not going to attack her, then what's the plan? Like,
well, one of the eggs was hatching, and then that's what set Ripley off.
Yep. That pisses the alien queen off, and then she points it at her eggs. So the alien queen tells her warriors to back off a little bit. See her look at them?
See,
back off.
Would you not laugh if the queen started talking? Hello, Ripley. You've progressed very far, but now you've reached your final level.
You fucking bitch. How dare you burn my eggs? She'd have to have an English accent.
You guys ever see the Robot Chicken Star Wars spoofs?
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, there was one where Admiral Akbar was having dinner with Mon Mothma. Mon Mothma's like, I'll have the calamari. And then Akbar's like, oh, well, then I'll have the insensitive bitch with a side of fuck you.
Yeah.
And now here's the good stuff.
That's where she done pisses her off, and the war is back on.
Yeah. She's like mowing them down, burning and blowing everything up.
Yeah, she wastes some ammo on the eggs right here, which I thought was kind of pointless.
Yeah, I mean, by this point,
probably wanted to make sure that the face huggers died.
Well, it's more. Well, we could really say it's more to make sure that there's plots that the queen survives to face her next.
It's plot convenience because obviously there's another point where
anyway.
Yeah, she can't shoot her.
She and Newt are the only humans left here, and then you're just gonna blow up the place anyway. So it doesn't matter how many facehuggers you have.
Right. See, there's the whole sneaking up behind her thing.
It would have been kind of cool as if like Newt grabbed something and like killed an alien. It's like that. That really would be cool to see her grown up because she's going through all this right now at this age and in this galaxy with all these things like to grow up like that.
Right.
Like be feared by even the predators or something. Like that's the most badass life form in the galaxy right there.
And she took her whole strap of grenades and threw them at once too, which I really don't like. That's
I didn't notice it either.
One or two would have been good.
This whole place is gonna blow up, but you still have some aliens to fight. So
yeah, you still got half a mile to run back to the ship. You might want to save something for the way.
You would think.
Well, not exactly. She's
got
just
a little bit of flight
to the elevator, and then the elevator will get her right up to the top.
And she's still got some flame. Not much, but a little.
Yep.
think she uses it up on the elevator, actually, if I remember right. A little bit she has left.
I assume this is also supposed to be a Terminator 2 vibe with the factory and explosions and fire.
The one thing I always got to admire Cameron for these movies he made was the blue lighting that he always had, because for one thing, blue is my favorite color. And he just does it in a way that, it makes it memorable.
Man, sorry I haven't been talking to you guys in the chat too much. Really into this movie, but if you've been watching with us, I hope you're enjoying it.
Yeah, and hello, Riot Kitty.
Yep, she was on 2 streams with me the other day.
Hello, Ancient One. Hello, Geoff TheIronWolf. Hello, Joe K470.
So the alien queen learns how to use the elevator and just patiently waits going up. It's kind of funny. I wish they showed a scene of the queen in the elevator, just like playing elevator music, just like
Right.
That would be funny.
They do in Robot Chicken.
Oh, they do?
Like that. I think they do something like that. Yeah.
I'll have to look that one up.
I'm not sure, but I could have sworn I seen something like that.
I think they had it push the button to bring the elevator down, and then it like just brought her back down or something. But it's funny you're here. It's like, oh, elevator. Oh, okay. I'll press the button and go inside. Hee hee. And it's like, I just would like to see that. It's like, yeah, just chilling in the elevator.
Well, Cameron's trying to set up some intelligence with the queen. That way it kind of pays off how she pops back up at the end,
Yeah. There she looks.
Because she's obviously smart enough to climb back, up on the plane and get out of there.
And here she thinks that Bishop abandoned them.
Yeah, I liked this part. She's like, God damn it. And it's like, we survived, but you're not here. Fuck.
And this still goes back to part 1. This is a nice tie into part 1 and her mistrust for the artificial people.
What Ash did.
Yeah.
Right. So he does tie the original into it, but not too much.
Yep, she's out of ammo and everything. She's like, well, just close your eyes because we're fucked. So, yep. Don't know I can do it.
Yeah, I mean, everything's collapsing and burning, and then the queen comes up.
This is all pre-CGI.
Yeah, and it still holds up to this freaking day.
Except I think maybe the electric bolts that you see is probably their only computer animation. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's okay,
Right. Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
If you use it and if you blend it with the practical effects or other effects, then it's fine.
And this is a great practical effect here, just the whole shot of her coming out.
Yeah. So I forget, in the Independence Day sequel, they have a huge giant alien too that looks similar to the Queen alien.
No, I haven't seen that one.
I have Independence Day. I just got it for Blu-ray a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it's not a good one, but they have like an alien queen as well, and it's kind of the same thing as this in a way, but different. But from Independence Day, and it looks just like this, but like stories high, I guess.
Oh, that was the second one, not the first.
That's what I said.
Yeah. I have the first one, not the sequel.
Yeah.
Punch it, Bishop. Nice little side note here. 2 of my Dobermans are named Bishop and Ripley.
Wow. This is a really interesting escape.
So has anybody ever told you that you're not an Alien fan, Snowdub?
No, I haven't been told that yet.
Like people say that you're not a Star Wars fan or something. It's like
interesting how they did the nuclear explosion here. They had like a light bulb shine underneath like a field of cotton or something like that.
A flare, yeah. Yeah, no, I'm definitely a fan.
Now the music that played that during this escape, they play it again when when dealing with the Queen. But there was a different music that was meant to play during that bit. It was the music that played at the end of the first Die Hard movie, right as Powell shot the bad guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that music in Die Hard was actually taken from the bit where they ditched the Queen.
Huh.
In fact, you hear a little bit of a similar tune to it right as they're about to re-enter hypersleep.
Oh wow,
That's how engrossed I am with, you know, listening to music. I can pick up stuff like that.
that's awesome. Yeah. And here's basically our last scene of Hicks.
Yeah. Well, before the hypersleep.
Right.
Well, him being conscious.
Kind of.
And you notice when the ship was trying to get away, it did bump into the leg of it, bumped into the landing leg, bumped into the platform, and that's probably how the Queen got on board.
And this is one of them great shocker moments. If you saw it for the first time, you didn't really see this coming.
There's acid on the floor. His belly goes out. Like, wait, what?
Yeah. First you think it's a chest burster, but then you're like, wait, no, he's a robot. And then you realize it's the alien queen's tail.
This is probably one of his semi-death scenes, because in Mortal Kombat X, when they had the Xenomorph as an extra character, that was one of the fatalities.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that tail, they did just a foam rubber one that they pulled out with a wire for that scene. Just popped out of his chest. Yeah, it's just a foam rubber one that kind of was mushed up inside of his jacket or whatever. And Sigourney Weaver said that she made sure to stay away from the puppet as much as possible until she shot the scenes. That way she wanted to show that she was actually legit scared of the thing.
That's cool. That's good.
Yeah, she avoided it. She didn't want to go see it at all until they shot the scenes.
Uh-huh. Toro. Yeah, that's using your head.
I love the teeth of it.
No, he can still, move around with only, half a body like that.
Yeah, he don't need legs.
That's what I would do with his character in in the new Alien 5. I'd have it where he got fully repaired, but he rebels against his creator.
I'd have him like built up, give him a better body of, like more cybernetic and more powerful, give him a stronger body.
Like a Terminator type body?
Something like that, maybe a more modernized like RoboCop type of thing. That way he can be in the wars and stuff. Since he's pretty knowledgeable now, he's seen so much. If they stay with the timeline, Bishop has seen a lot.
Most popular scene of all coming up.
Yes, sir. And there's a guy behind her that's running that thing. And I guess there's a funny thing about that. He had a balloon, I believe, that he kept blowing up behind her. So she kept thinking that he was getting excited. So, because it was poking her right in the butt. And so she kind of freaked out and then realized it was a balloon and they were just playing a prank on her. One of those little side jokes that was going on.
This is a cool fight, I will admit.
Brilliantly shot how they managed to keep the puppeteer out of the scenes.
Yeah, I was about to say, very good compliments there. Very good.
He's right behind it, and they made sure to keep him out of it. Lots of close-ups.
They used the tail whipping around.
No music is playing.
Right. Yeah, the best thing, they kept the music out.
Yeah, I was about to say, there's more tension without the music that try to manipulate how you feel.
Yeah.
You got to see it through the characters and what they're doing. Sound effects and everything, too.
And it's a mama bear standoff. You got two moms that are extremely pissed off at each other.
Well, it's like, you got to think about the queen. It's like, what the F is this thing that has destroyed my whole people? Like,
yeah.
It's like, I don't know. It's never experienced that, apparently. But then again, according to Drunk, these things are kind of new creatures, with the engineers creating them to destroy humanity.
Yeah, well, like I said, Ridley Scott really kind of went way out on left field.
It's like, if you have more time to let your ideas sit, you'll add things that didn't need to be there. And it's like, oh, yeah. And then they also did this. And then it's been a couple of years. Well, and then did I mention they also could do this? Yeah.
Prometheus had some interesting concepts, but they weren't well defined. That's the problem.
Yeah, the problem was they didn't pay attention to the expanded universe, just like with Disney.
Right.
Because, I mean, a lot of people, I'm sure, still want to see a Predator Concrete Jungle adapted movie.
Yeah, well, guess who owns the Aliens franchise now?
Unfortunately. And the Predator franchise.
Oh, man.
And by extension, the Star Wars movie franchise. Because, you know, I think Fox still owned the movie rights.
Yeah, well, the old movies, but Disney owns the rights to Aliens now to make another Aliens movie. It's all Disney.
I bet you when the new Star Wars Episode 9 comes out, they're probably going to have the 20th Century Fox logo appear in the opening just to you know, trick us with nostalgia.
I believe this was all miniature scenes too, Rookie, or a lot of them were.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at her arm here, dangling onto the ladder. That must hurt. Like, look at the weight of the queen, even though it's going out into space, all that pressure, and oh my god.
Finally rips her shoe off, yeah.
If her arm didn't get torn off, like, you know.
Well, either her arm or her shoe had to go, so good thing the shoe went first.
Yeah.
That was cool how Bishop saved Newt there.
Yeah.
Well, that was stuff for Ripley.
And again, playing the music from earlier, but not using the one from Die Hard. The one from Die Hard was meant to be here.
But this music has been used a lot of times later on in other films, especially trailers.
Really?
Yes, this actual music soundtrack right here, you've heard it probably a few different times in trailers.
It sounded familiar.
Yep. It's a
she looks exhausted.
Yeah, finally. That's
He's just a bag of goo.
Not bad for a human.
Yep.
I like this. She called her mommy.
When I met Lance Henriksen, I said, "You got to come back for another movie." And he's like, "Oh, I can't. I got ripped in half." And I was like, "Well, at least half of you could come back." And he laughed and he goes, "Well, my lower half's better though." But yeah, he's a great guy. Really enjoyed spending a little time with him.
That's funny.
I wondered if he survived the Terminator because we didn't exactly see him, you know, get killed off.
That's true. They kind of just left him on the wall there. He looked like he was dying, though, obviously. But
no. What it was you see him shoot at the Terminator from behind, but then it cuts to the Terminator turning around to fire both guns at him. You hear him cry out, but you don't see him get killed off.
Right. Okay, that's right. I thought maybe you saw him like against the wall dying.
Oh, no, that was Paul Winfield's character.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Yeah, and there was also a deleted scene where, you know, Sarah and Reese are fleeing the station. They run into him, and he gives them the keys to the car. That's how they get that car. Yeah.
No, and there's some deleted scenes in both the Terminator movies that should have been in, I think.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Like the flashback scene with Kyle Reese character in Terminator 2. I love that scene.
Yeah.
Where she has a dream.
That's why I prefer the extended version of Cameron films.
Yep. They're always better.
I like this blue shot of them sleeping.
Yeah, because you know they can finally sleep. Because the whole movie they talk about their nightmares, and right at the end here you get to see them have a nice peaceful rest. So yeah. Great conclusion.
And that's why I hate Alien 3 because it ruined it.
Yep, killed it.
Yeah. Yep, that was Aliens.
Alien 3 was the last Jedi of Aliens.
Got that egg onto the Sulaco. How the hell did that happen when most of the eggs and her sack were destroyed?
Right. Well, that's plot hole from the beginning.
One last poop before she died.
Figures.
She had one stashed on her back. You didn't see it.
Yep, she tossed it before and then you'd think, oh, well, what about the airlock? Well, fuck logic, you know.
Oh, and the egg just happened to have the right face hugger that made an alien queen, too. Because later on, Ripley finds out that she has an alien queen inside of her. Yeah, an Alien 3.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just an alien in her chest, it's a queen.
Wait, so...
7-0, James Horner, R.I.P., was responsible for a lot of great movie soundtracks. Indeed, he was.
Yeah, it was a great soundtrack. Great movie. That's why I wanted to be on this one with you, Rookie, because, like I said, if I go through my list of greatest movies of all time, this one always lands up, top 3, top 5, easy.
Yep,
Brian Terrier says I should have joined this one since I've never seen Aliens. Dude, it's okay. You can just find the time you can and pull it up.
Yeah,
if you haven't seen this movie,
I post these on Twitter when I do watch parties, like a week before I do them. That's all right. Yeah, he said, I wish I could have joined. I couldn't either way due to still living in a van. Oh, that sucks, man. That sucks.
a van down by the river.
Yep.
Well, hey,
Yeah.
man, I don't know how your finances are, but you could probably find a copy of Aliens at a pawn shop or secondhand store for a couple bucks. It's a real common movie now, easy to find.
Yep. Well, any last things you guys want to say before we close out about Aliens?
What was your favorite parts of the movie?
Yeah, what was your favorite, Rookie?
My favorites. I don't specifically have any favorite parts, I guess, but I just mostly enjoyed the majority of the movie. Like seriously, if you watch my watch party yesterday, I rip on Alien quite a bit. Not very entertained at all by it. I mean, it doesn't need a bunch of flashy stuff, a bunch of pew pews and all that. No, it doesn't need all that. But the way this is paced, I was more invested with the characters. I could see who is gone. I'm like, oh, that person's not there anymore. Oh no, what happened to him? Oh yeah, they got killed that over there. Oh yeah, okay. And I don't know, the progression with Ripley as a character was good. Newt as a child actress was very good. Like it would have been interesting to see her in other child roles because there's so many that suck in movies that just can ruin a movie. Like I don't know, the kids in Signs. I hated those kids. I don't know. They just, like kids like that, or ones that are just like, "Oh no, mother, what are we going to do?" It's like, "Oh, shut up." They're not.
Well, they always say you don't work with kids or dogs in movies because it could ruin your career.
Yeah, exactly. So this one seemed really good. If anything, like on par with the adult actors. So very good. The action was all right. I like the expansion of the lore of the aliens themselves. Yeah.
I like the whole how Ripley was going down to going down into the factory to go look for Newt, knowing that she could get killed and they might run out of time and blow up, but she was still willing to do it. That was
And I love this movie for the simple fact that it's the perfect blueprint of what a strong female character could, should, and would be. And that's why a lot of people will refer back to this movie when they bring up, an actual good female character. Ripley is one of the first that kind of pioneered it. And I still believe, I'm like 99% sure she got an Academy Award nomination for that movie for Best Actress. So definitely worth it to see if you've never seen this movie.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, Sigourney looks good too, by the way, at her current age, considering she was in her mid-20s during this in the 70s and 80s. She still looks okay now. Like, damn.
Yeah, no, I think she could come back and do one more. And like I said, I hope they do come back and revisit this timeline, bring Hex, Newt back, and do a part 3 like it should have been done.
Wait, was there a joke in Avatar about her smoking? I think there was. There's something. Her character she played in Avatar was like, she either was smoking or she quit smoking. I don't know. It seems like watching this now, it seems like a nod to this.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Kind of funny.
Joe K470 says Alien needed more Michael Bay explosions for Rookie.
Yep. He knows how to push my buttons. Yeah. So, and that's it for you guys. I'm just gonna close it out.
Well,
right on, it's good. Watch the movie, everybody.
Since we're
All right. Yep. Later, guys.